in Japan, Suzuka, for the Japanese Grand Prix, round 18 of ALR Gold Season 4. Then there's only 130 points up for grabs then in this championship left fence. So it's going to go. It's going to be very much squeaky bum time, isn't it, for the remainder of the season as well? Of course, the only figure of 8 circuit on the calendar, and of course, Suzuka has been one of the legendary circuits, hasn't it? Which of course you just can't get away from. Its history surrounds this place. It's beautiful, isn't it? And we can just talk about history, can't we? We can just go through the history, can't we, of Suzuka. It's been absolutely fantastic, hasn't it? We are here at the International Race Course of Japan, and of course we've had so many legendary moments around here, not in the official world of Formula 1, but also in the real world of ALR as well, haven't we? Of course, we've had 3 different winners over the course of the seasons here in ALR. Remember, the first winner was John Cox back in the final race of the season 1. Then season 2 was Emerson. That was also the first time we ever got his first ever pole position as well for Emerson as well. And then Granty, of course, and a fantastic drive last season as well, which I feel was the momentum breaker that really got his championship under his belt, and his second world championship as well for Granty. Lovely stuff indeed. Then, as we are now approaching the first part of qualifying, then let's go through the drivers and the constructors standing, shall we? Emerson is leading the championship, as I've already mentioned. 130 points are up for grabs at the moment now. So at the moment, Emerson has a 40-point advantage there over Pease, who is second position. The world defending a double world champion Grant is in third position now. Can he get he needs a victory here tonight, doesn't he, to really keep himself get himself in the championship, or get himself back in there really. Alhan is mathematically still in the championship, but of course he has to score more points than Emerson here tonight there. Right, he is down and out there. Caesar in 5th position. Mitchell, one of his strongest performances of his career, fantastic in 6th position. Milan is 7th. Fireshot is 8th, with Jonathan in 9th. Clarkey in the last 3 races really announced himself on the ALR scene. Brilliant stuff indeed there. He has moved up 4 positions there, unfortunately, because of that far FIFA. Nigel and Tango have all dropped down. Equals and Diego, strong performances last time out. They've moved up 1 position. Mumford is now flirting with the relegation zone. King Zone 18th, Indian Jesus 19th, and Nightwing completes the top 20 in the constructor standings. Renault cannot win tonight's championship either, depending on where you come from in the United Kingdom, all that kind of stuff. And but yeah, it's Renault then 61 points in front of Red Bull, who is second. Then Red Bull have 2 substitute drivers, and I will touch on that in just a few moments. Racing Point are in a third position. They're 31 points behind Red Bull, but 92 points behind the constructors leaders at the moment. Williams are in 4th position on last season's constructors champions. Well, I gotta say they're an outside bet now, aren't they? Alpha Tower are in 5th position. Mercedes are in 6th position. 7th position is the Ferrari. 8th position is McLaren. They're 2 points behind Ferrari now. Alfa Romeo and Haas are 9th and 10th positions, getting very close there at the bottom. Then Tango and Equals and Kingzone have all got qualifying bans then. So that means then we've got a bit of a free practice session to discover, to talk about whatever you want to talk about here tonight then. So I can have a good old natter then. Lovely stuff indeed then. And of course, then we've already got cars on the circuit. Then I've got to say it's a very tough track. It really is. We're on board there with Indian Jesus at the moment, and this is Indian Jesus' 3rd race at the moment. Unfortunately, he's had 2 DNFs to his name now, as the Haas drivers. Hopefully, he can get himself to the end and get himself some points there to show for his efforts as well. Coming through the first Degna then, and going a bit wide there, and now into the second Degna as well, which is slightly slower than the first Degna as well then, as we've mentioned then. So this is more of a glorified practice session, isn't it? So Indian Jesus, the first man, 3 tire compounds then on them, as there is at every single circuit of ALR. Soft is the red marked tires, medium is the yellow marked tires, and the hard tires is white then. Of course, the hard tires is the most durablest of the 3 compounds of tires. And I've just been reliably informed then that we will not be needing the intermediates or wet tires, unlike what we had earlier on today then, which I gotta say was a cracking Turkish Grand Prix. And of course, Hamilton is now technically, in terms of stats, the most successful driver in Formula 1 history. He is a 7-time world champion as well, with 3 races to go, and he is now technically the best of all time, is he? Of course, there is going to be an argument there with Michael Schumacher there, also on 7 championships as well, but Hamilton does have 94 Grand Prix wins behind him now, doesn't he? And I'm a big old Hamilton fanboy, so I'm absolutely on the high today. So Good 70, then you can't really, yeah, he's been the best car, but all best drivers usually find themselves in the best cars more often than not, don't they? And so it's an absolutely amazing achievement, it really is, indeed, as so just on board with Indian Jesus going through the S's as well. And let me quickly go through the comment show is Indian Jesus going for the first deck now as well. Then, of course, I think that drivers might be not pushing too hard to the limit in the first qualifying session because of the fact that as long as you get a time in, you're basically going to be through, aren't you? So that's so really they don't have to be too concerned about their time so far. Jonathan saying, good evening, Sean. Happy 150th race to me. Then, of course, that is all league races. That is not just Jonathan hasn't reached 150 races yet in ALR, but he is getting there, isn't he? Getting there very slowly as well. This is would be Jonathan's this would be hang on a minute once I get my old stats up. Yeah, this is Jonathan's 62nd Grand Prix. It started tonight in ALR. Lovely 17. Then this is Indian Jesus' third start here tonight. AL there, of course. Al Bashi saying, Sean, hello. Hope you're having a great day. Sam saying, evening, beautiful. I don't think he's talking about me, is he? Surely not. But hello, Sam. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday afternoon. Then, Indian Jesus just gone fast at the moment. Then, of course, he's the only man set a time so far at 27. There, but Nightwing now it's gone into a 26 straight away. These times are hot off the press, isn't they? Goodness me, good 17 then. First, the Red Bull has come across the line as well. They are, of course, they've got two substitute drivers here tonight, haven't they? We'll keep an eye on what they can do as well. Emerson, the championship leader, is just going under the deck now one as well. Just keeping an eye on Emerson there. We've got Gunnar saying, what's the crack, Sean Bud? Well, not a lot, to be honest. I've just enjoyed a lovely bit of chicken as well, of course, as part of my Sunday lunch. Absolutely beautiful. Ayrton saying, hello, Sean. I love you too, Ayrton there. And of course, Ayrton is now a big shot. I'm surprised he remembers who I am then, as he got his first podium finish, didn't he, last time out in the bronze race of Russia. And of course, Sean Hammer's got his first race of bronze. Well, bronze is really heated up, isn't it? But Velocity still has a chance to win the championship on Tuesday night. Same with Gurman as well. Tomorrow night he could potentially also be the champion. If he wins, then he's guaranteed to be the champion. So keep that in mind as well. Tonight though, this man cannot get himself the championship just yet. But of course he'll be doing a good job there to. But of course he'll be making more inroads, doesn't he? We're on board Gunnar then. Of course Gunnar has been racing in the gold. Well, I got his good sissy Gunnar back in gold, isn't it? He has been ever present in ALR more often than not, and almost since the get-go. I think he's the most experienced driver on the grid here tonight, isn't he? So let's see if that experience can show by getting a good result for Red Bull. We're second in the constructors at the moment, aren't they? We've got Clarky boy. Shame there's only 15 of us. Dry race then. And yes, that's where I got my information from. Yeah, Clarky there. Confirmed it is a dry race, as I spotted that comment quite early on there, so I'm very happy with myself for that. As I'm just watching Ghost coming through the hairpin as well. Jonathan is out on circuit as well. Mr. Elite then, who's had a fantastic season so far, and he potentially then could get his first Constructors Championship of his career, can he, Mr. Elite, this season? As currently him and Emerson are marching onto it as well, and Red Bull are on the back foot as well at the moment there, with two drivers that are quite inexperienced in the gold division this season, aren't they? But they are definitely not inexperienced when it comes to league race as well. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Gordo saying this is going to be chaos there. Tango through into qualifying 2 there. Yes, even though Tango has got a quality ban, he'll be into qualifying 2, good 70. And we've got a good setup, time trial setup for Australia from Gordo as well. We've also got Tango saying, evening guys, well, good to see Tango in the comments there, but we wish he was out on circuit, don't we? Alhan coming through the 130 yard out. That used to be a monstrous corner, didn't it? If anyone remembers Alan McNish back in 2002 when he was driving for the Toyota team, he had a big old smash there, didn't he? And it was quite a frightening smash. Unfortunately, he didn't take part in his final race of his F1 career, unfortunately, did he, Alan McNish? He's a very good sports car driver, isn't he? He's a multiple Le Mans winner, isn't he? Alhan has just gone third fast at the moment, and good 17. And of course, Alhan is the final 4 drivers that is technically within a shot at the championship, but I gotta say, I think today, mathematically, he will be out of the championship, but I think Alhan, he's been so impressive this season, Alhan. As for me, he has been one of the drivers of the season for gold. He's been brilliant. Here comes Diego, comes across the line, he goes it's fast at the moment then. Ghost Recon's invalidated his time. Here comes Clarkey, and I think the Clark has been really rising to the top, hasn't he, as of late then. Really good 17 there, Clarkey in Italy. Good driving in the Italian Grand Prix, and again last week in Russia there. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a blip in Singapore, wasn't it? But hopefully, let's see if we can have another shot at the top. And indeed he is there. Emerson, I think that Emerson and Clark, it could be an interesting rivalry later on then. Oh, oh no, Pike is off the circuit, and that's at the exit of turn 2, I think, going into turn 3. And Pike there having a couple of issues. I can't say someone at the moment. Someone, that's it. Someone. Unfortunately, someone there is facing the wrong way there. He's got himself all tied up there, and unfortunately I can't get off board with Salmon now, so let's just go, let's just enjoy this run as we go through Dunlop as well, shall we? 10 minutes into this session already then, as you can see going into Degner 1 as well. Clark is just bypassed Salmon as well at the moment as he's going, and he's damaged the car as well, hasn't he? Pike has. That is not good at all, is it? So he's going to have to come into the pits, but luckily for him then is going to get the time on the board. That should be okay. Farf has also emerged out of the pits as well in his Ferrari. Of course, there is teammate Kingdom there. Unfortunately, he's got a quality button though, hasn't he? Tango said tonight's going to be interesting trying to come through the field then. So Tango then, of course, at the moment, he is facing, I think it'd be 15th on the grid then. If, well, things go to plan then, but when does it go to plan in ALR? Almost never, doesn't it? You can see there, Salmon, as Pike there. I can't say Salmon tonight, can I? Goodness me. I don't know what's going on with me. Oh, gosh. But, yes, as Pike there just going a bit wide, and Equals has left the session now. That is Pike's teammate, isn't it? So you can see as he comes through the 130 as well. Just on board there. We got Alham for the podium tonight then. Jonathan said, I did it from the back. I think that was back in season 1, wasn't it, for Jonathan now, because he was the first man to beat Nigel, wasn't he, in a straight fight in ALR. And I think that's a very good claim to fame, isn't it, for the British Italian driver. On board with Farfen, a 3-time Grand Prix winner. He hasn't won since season 2 in Bahrain, but let's put that to the side, shall we? Of course, as on board Farfen out of the Ferrari, he's going to take us around this legendary Suzuka circuit, or is he? Oh, he was almost there. I thought he was almost going into the wall, then Farfen's backed off. Remember, these guys are through. They just have to set a time. It doesn't matter how quick or slow the time is. There is no 107% rule in ALR, which might be lucky or unlucky for some drivers, but never mind. We'll keep it like that, shall we? Yeah, just on board Farfen. I'm going for the first deck now as well, into the second deck now. Remember 2009 when we returned back to this incredible Suzuka circuit, we had a big 3 or 4 red flags in qualifying. I think we had Kovalainen into the wall at Degner too. I think we also had Halmi Argashwari also having some issues as well, didn't he? In his Toro Rosso. As far from that coming up into Spoon as well then, as you can see there. Of course, there used to be gravel on the outside of that Spoon curve, didn't there? No, I remember quite vividly about the 2 Williams drivers that are bouncing over the gravels there back in that 95 season, 95 race, which is, I think, is a hidden jewel, really. We've got yellow flags floating all over the circuit at the moment, goodness me. It's a hidden jewel. I would suggest you go back and watch it. It's absolutely brilliant. Something indeed between Jean Lacey and Michael Schumacher. And just watching Farfar, goodness me, had a bit too much speed there, coming around the triangle chicane, didn't he? The back end of the first pilot was trying to take the front and far back in the pit lane, and unfortunately he's in Park Ferme. Is Park Ferme, and oh my goodness me then, and Ghost Recon had to take a face of action there, as that Pike there was inadvertently in his way there, but Ghost then is on his way. Here is the champion. Grand 2, unfortunately at the moment is invalidated time, so he's got to have another bite of cherry. Here comes Ghost, and of course he's a Grand Prix winner this season in ALR, season 2 a silver. Wow, he flies past me now. He won in that incredible Dutch Grand Prix, didn't he? Ghost, of course, he's now decided to step back and be a reserve driver for the foreseeable future, and I think he's done alright, hasn't he? And remember, in that crazy Russian Grand Prix, if he didn't have as many penalties, he potentially could have been, should have been in some major pointage, shouldn't he? He is just coming up to Spoon as well. Dead Pains, yo, hello Dead Pains, hope you're having a lovely day. Just watching Ghost coming through the second part of Spoon as well. Now then, he is coming up to the 130R as well then. Of course, there's only one DRS zone around this circuit now, isn't there? Well, there's always been one DRS, so there's not really anywhere else to play. I would put it here personally, but that's because I'm a man who lives on the on the edge of danger, really. I think that, to be honest, of course, it was not going to be safe to have the DRS over through the 130R, and that would rely on the drivers to shut it manually, really, and I think that the FIA cannot really trust drivers, can they? Ghost Recon goes across the line. He is the slowest of the timed runners so far. Grant is out on circuit. We've also seen a flash of Knowlesy. This is Knowlesy's first appearance in Season 4, isn't it? I think it's great to see Knowlesy in action as well, of course. He has never won a race in ALR, has he? But he has definitely flirted with the front, hasn't he? No, I think they probably should have won at least 2 races in Season 2. Remember when Emerson burst onto the scene, didn't he? And I think if Emerson wasn't around there, I think that Knowlesy probably could have and should have won the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, definitely the Canadian Grand Prix that season as well. But Emerson just burst onto the scene there. Just burst onto the scene, didn't he? And really just it should change the game, didn't you? This league, didn't he? And this man also changed the game as well. Of course, Emerson and Granty was the basically the class for field in the 2019 Formula 1 game, both in season 2 and 3. They were fantastic, weren't they? Both this season. Emerson, even though he's had a appalling season when it comes to DNFs, that's the most DNFs he's had this season. Emerson has, but he is leading the championship, and that's the only thing that matters, isn't it? Of course. At the moment, now he does have a chance to beat Granty's record of most wins in a single season there, which is currently sat at 9. Granty goes 8 fastest at the moment in the Williams then. Now we got Pike, who's also on circuit as well. Got Nosey then just hopping over the triangle chicane then before he accelerates away in the Red Bull. Nosey's got the car number 94 then. Of course, that is quite as he goes into the 30s at the moment. Nosey does that, and he's just trying to get himself back into the groove of ALR then. Pike then, Simon Pike then having a couple of issues then. This thing is Gunnar has retired from the session. Now I think he's safely in the pits then. Pike is going for another bite of the cherry as well then. Farf is still out on circuit at the moment. And so, touch wood, so far we haven't had anyone in the hedge yet, have we? We've had we've had this man who was pointing the wrong way at the exit of turn 2, but luckily no problems there then. Gurman and Gareth, we've already mentioned that Gurman is on the cusp of history in silver, isn't he? He could potentially be the world champion. Of course, tomorrow I haven't got all the math right yet or nailed down. Oh goodness me, it's Simon Pike there, almost over the edge of grip there. But of course, Gurman, if he wins tomorrow, it doesn't matter what anyone else does, doesn't matter what Wilson does, or what Potato does, he will be the champion, won't he? Of course, so yes, I think that is definitely what Gurman is going to be aiming for tomorrow, isn't he? So we can wrap it all up there with 4 races to go then, and that's an absolutely beautiful place to be in, isn't it? So yeah, Gurman has just said that this is an amazing track, it really is, and of course, I don't think the Silver George is going to be liking the sound of that, are they? As Gurman there is, of course, he had a great race here last season, didn't he? Really good battle between himself. I think it was himself in a Potato, wasn't it? Really, it was a great race. Of course, I think Gurman won it, if I'm not very much mistaken. Indian Jesus left the session. Hopefully, he'll come back in soon. Simon Pike there going for the 130 yarder, not even a hint of a lift. Grant is retired from the session. He is in the pits, and Farf is also out on the course as well. We're just under 3 minutes to go in this session. Tango says that Sean the Daredevil. I gotta say, I wish I was the Daredevil. Well, do I? I'm not sure really. It depends on what version of the Daredevil. Simon Pike does have put in a very good time as well. He's 7 fastest. Here comes Farf coming through now as well. Farf DRS, the only DRS zone. He is 12 fastest as well, and that is it then for qualifying. Everyone is through, apart from the guys that were very naughty last time out. So King's Home 17th, Equal 16th, and Tango in 15th position as well. And you know when you've been tangoed. But of course, Tango was saying there, I am the Daredevil. Please don't give away my secret identity, but it does depend on what version. Now, I quite enjoyed the Netflix version of Daredevil. I thought it was really good. I haven't got around to watching season 2 yet. It's because I've heard that they cancelled it at the end of season 3, if I'm not very much mistaken. And I do get into my TV shows quite get proper into my TV shows. So yeah, if I know that the series has been cancelled, I don't see the point in watching it. But there you go, that's just me. Clark there is invalidated this time, but he's coming back in the pits while just under 2 minutes to go, and he has spun it off there. All through Degner, but luckily he did not hit anything hard there. And goodness me, then you can see that is how quickly the car can just snap on you. There's a lot of downforce on these Formula 1 cars, but goodness me. But Clark there just lost it there, and that's how easy these cars could, how easy you can lose these cars there. And it just shows the gladiators of the real world of Formula 1 and how great they were today. And and not losing it on that ridiculously slippery track there of Turkey. Of course, Turkey only just had the tarmac laid down, didn't they? And similar to Korea back in 2010, remember when that was a newly resurfaced track as well, where the rain just didn't have anywhere to go, just didn't soak into the tarmac, did it? And it was the same with Turkey tonight, today I should say. But Clarkey there, I got to say, he seems to be driving on Turkey there, doesn't he? Goodness me, as he's got no grip out there, has he? But luckily he didn't hit anything hard, and he is okay then. Sam is saying, I've got myself a wheel. I'll come on in a few weeks. That's good stuff indeed there. Of course, Sam, up until where he had a technical issue with his wheel, it broke. Then he's unfortunately had to bow out of gold then. But yeah, great to see Sam back in the cockpit as well, wouldn't it? Yeah, of course we do miss Sam there. Of course, he was the Haas driver to begin the season, wasn't he? He's a very experienced campaigner in ALR as well. But unfortunately, technical issues means he's had to bow out. Ayrton saying, I recommend all 3 seasons of The Punisher, and so that's definitely something I'll be watching then over Christmas probably. Or as I seem to, I got to say, I'm a bit of a Netflix binger, and when I find something, I literally just sit and watch it. But I got to do all. But of course, there's a lot of things coming up in our last before we finish the season, don't we? Of course, we got 5 races to go from each division. That's 15 in total left, isn't it? And I can't believe we only got 15 races. Only got 15 more races to commentate on in ALR. Goodness me. I've got to say that this season's flown by, hasn't it? Lovely stuff indeed. Then. Equals saying that Nosey for pole. We've also got Sam saying, "Way Nosey is racing." Yeah, it's good to see Nosey back in action. He did race, I think, briefly at the Spanish Grand Prix round 15 last season, didn't he? But I think that it'd be good. It's good, and I feel a lot of the drivers do love seeing that Nosey on circuit, and I'm hoping that he can have a good afternoon tonight. We have got Grant saying, hello my husband, hope you're well. Setup not feeling great. Of course, remember Granty had a spectacular race last season here, didn't he? He needs a good race here tonight then, but I'm very well, Granty. I hope you can get your setup working splendidly, and you can have yourself a good result here tonight then. ALR Vintage saying, good evening all, hope everyone has had a nice Sunday. Well, I certainly have been. As Tango's asked, I wonder how much brown stuff came out of Clarkey then. I hope he's talking about chocolate. But yes, I got to say that definitely I would have had to change my underwear after that. Goodness me. Equals, I didn't get my setup better than mine, Granty there. As Equals is going to be very much, he's on the back foot already, but now he's going to be very much on the back foot with no setup. Bro Grilla, evening Sean. Hope Granty, I hope you have a good race, mate. Good stuff indeed then. Clarkey saying, yeah, I'm trying out some different throttle leniency. Was it leniency? Don't know. But I gotta say, that's why I'm not very technically adept. All I know is he's having some more throttle input by the looks. So, oh goodness me, all the covers coming. I don't even know where I've gone now. Oh gosh, lovely. And oh gosh, I don't know where I am anymore. Oh goodness me. Right. We're now into like 10 seconds of this second qualifying session. That's why I apologise if I missed your comments there, because the load came in at the same time and I just have no idea where I'm talking about now. And oh gosh, got a load of Discord notifications as well. Let's ignore them, because I normally ignore them anyway, unless I'm at work obviously. Right, we're in qualifying 2 then. Tango's retired from the session again, of course, then, as he has been a very naughty Tango indeed, hasn't he? Out of the pits there comes one of the Renault drivers as well, and it is Emerson. I was going to say Ayrton, and of course Ayrton is the more talented of the Hiltons now, isn't he, as he has got his first podium in bronze then. Let's go, but there's a serious message then. We're on board with Emerson. You may notice then, I do love talking about helmets, but this is a very serious message there, of course. Emerson now is driving with a yellow helmet tonight there, of course. That is in reference to children in need then, which of course was on Friday, wasn't it? So lovely stuff indeed there from Emerson, and I think that's definitely one of the best causes out there. So really good stuff indeed there from Emerson. And got to say, I tip my hat off to you, sir. Oh, I tip my helmet off to you. Lovely stuff indeed there from Emerson there. And of course, Emerson at the moment has got a 40-point advantage in the World Championship, hasn't it? It's the most, this is the biggest margin he's had. Emerson has in this time of the season. And remember, last season he was chasing rather than being chased, wasn't he? And of course, unfortunately, there he did let Granty get through. Well, I didn't let him, did he? Granty was just absolutely a monster last season, wasn't it? I remember this race quite fondly last season. It was a brilliant show. And so we just got McLaren in the background as well. I think that is Jonathan Cox and so remaining McLaren. McLaren. I got to say, as we're coming to the end of the season, there is a lot of. I do like to have a bit of a school report on some of the drivers and some of the teams. And one team that does stick out to me, I think, the Renault going for their second Constructors Championship. Remember, they won in season 2 with Granty and Brandon, didn't they? But Emerson and Mr. Lee have been really good over the course of the season. They really have. They have been absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. And they are the team with which has had the least amount of disruptions, haven't they? Good stuff indeed there. And I think that is also why they're leading the Constructors Mode. And Mr. Lee has also gone on to found a new level in form as well, in my opinion. But yeah, McLaren, I feel that McLaren, they had Fireshot and Jonathan Cox, 2 former Grand Prix winners, 2 drivers that are so quick in qualifying, and it just feels like McLaren just haven't reached their potential to this season, have they? I remember Fireshot started off the season so well, he's just dropped off, hasn't he? Jonathan, I think, had a appalling start to the season, has really found his feet, hasn't he, as of late? He's moved himself up to 9th in the championship, and now Fireshot's having a couple of issues as well. Unfortunately, Fireshot, I don't think is feeling very well tonight, which is a shame. But of course, I think that's so McLaren seems to have one on the other driver performing, not both, and that's why they're so far down the constructors. But that's one of the biggest disappointments for me tonight. My microphone sounds strange there. Is it because I'm in a different place, perhaps? Then maybe, or it might be my voice as well. I'm not sure what my microphone sounds strange, to be honest. Hang on, let me. Does that sound better? Hang on. I think it's next to my. It's actually stuck on my face. That might be better. Hang on. There you go. Hopefully that'll be better. Emerson there just now coming up to the 130 yard as well. Serious Russian get some points. Grant, lad, you need them as. Emerson, Ayrton is saying there's rain in 5 minutes then, and goodness me, that might be why we got everyone out on circuit apart from Alhan and Nosey as well. Oh my goodness me! Remember we had a bit of rain at the end of Russia of bronze there, didn't we? Of course that was a cracking end to bronze, wasn't it? Emerson's gone fast. Remember this is where he got his first pole position of his career. Really good stuff indeed. And Zeus Mercer saying that's better as he now goes through into turn 1. And John for the second there, and third position is Farfen. Lovely stuff indeed there for Farfen, but he's down into 4th now because Indian Jesus has now gone himself up into 3rd position. Good stuff indeed there for the Haas driver. Look at them all coming through thick and fast as well. Mr. Lee is also in 4th position as well. Nightwing is about to start his lap, then we're on board the racing point. Hopefully he'll have a better race than he did last time out in Russia as well. Clarkey is accelerating out of the triangle chicane then, and I just put myself in the eye. Clarkey has done a 36, I believe. He's going to have another bite to shout. And Granty, who's struggling on setup at the moment, isn't he? He's only done a 52, but I'm expecting that to come down quite considerably. Well, but the second half car of that is Diego, who's gone into 6th fast. Simone on the soft tires, Diego has said, so no messing about there from the Haas driver. And Clarkey, we got Salmon as well. Gunnar goes into 7th fast. Simone, he's on a 29.3. Gunnar is at the moment there. Clarkey is on the Degner corners there. We've also got Salmon Pike there coming out from underneath the rear wing of the Renault driver as well, as tension is starting to build then. And here we go then. Gurman has just asked, what is the delta between the softs and the mediums then? I would say it's probably around about 3, 4, maybe 5 tenths of a second then, which is not an accurate answer, which Gurman wanted. So if anyone can help him out, that'll be good stuff indeed then. And as we're just watching mediums, 226 there. Mersons for Esports. Is that Paul Merson? So just watching Pike. Oh my goodness me! He has gone fast. He's on the soft tire, of course, though, but to across a good lap though. Nonetheless, then Nosey has emerged out of the pits as well. We got Clarkey, we got Ghost, and we got Alhan as well. And I've got cramp in my knee, and it's really hurting. We got Nightwing then, who's gone to 5th fast. I've kind of navigated my room around slightly, haven't I? Which of course no one would have noted. That's what I don't want to say. I'm not. Clarkey's gone fast again. Tango's left the session now. Whilst his teammate is now flying high. Clarkey's out of qualifying. Ghost there is just coming into Spoon as well. Then car 25 right as he accelerates out of Spoon before dropping down there and going back up there. As I said, then the delta is half a second, so 5 tenths of a second there. Good stuff indeed there from Ayrton. I'm glad that someone does his homework. Just watching. There's a Friday there of Farfar. Touring back to the pits as well. Ghost there hopping over the triangle chicane. Farf was taking the old entry into the pit lane, wasn't he? He was back in 95 and beyond then. Ghost Recon now the final turn then. Of course, that turn is a bit of a nothing turn, really, isn't it? But we've had a lot of instances there over the years, haven't we? Gurman saying a good time there from Emerson. Serious Mushroom, hashtag Gooner 2 fast for gold then. As just watching now, Hannah of course, he is the fourth and final man that is mathematically still in the championship running. Realistically, no disrespect to Alhan, he has been fantastic this season. It's great to see him stay in the championship running mathematically, but I think realistically, I don't think he's going to be concerned himself about the championship. But you never know in this weird and wonderful world of Formula One, do you? Nosey has just put in a 1:38.287 there. Not much of a scorcher there from Nosey there, but I don't know. I think he might have had his vape in one hand and the steering wheel on the other hand by the looks of that time. So maybe Nosey will have another bite of the cherry. You've just got yellow flags floating around at the moment, and I think that rain shower is starting to come quite quickly, isn't it? A lot of the Japanese Grand Prix have been affected by rain. That's unfortunately that infamous and the most horrific Grand Prix that I've ever witnessed live is, of course, the Japanese Grand Prix in 2014 there, and of course that was a horrific day, wasn't it, for all of Formula One. Granted coming into the pits now then, so at the moment he is through, and of course it's the top 10 that goes through, and so as we're just watching Ghost Recon, he's also come back into the pits as well. So Clark is currently the fastest man at the moment. I don't, has Clark ever had a pole position? I hear you asking, ALR, and let me give you the answer now, as I have go to check my old spreadsheet. Indeed he has there. Clarky had a pole position. When did he have pole position? I can't remember when he had pole position, but apparently he did. I don't think he has that pole position, actually. No, I don't think he has. And so maybe my stat might be wrong there. But apparently Clark has that pole position, but I can't remember him around pole position. There you go then. Alhan, top 5. One of the best goal drivers, Alhan is. Indeed he is. And I think that Alhan's consistency has been brilliant, hasn't it? And I think throughout the course of the season, remember, he started off so well indeed there, didn't he? Just kept banging in those consistent performances there. Really good stuff indeed then. Clark has said no pole positions yet then. So let me strike that off the list then. As, yep, there we go. Then, so that's gone now. But I wonder if Clarky will get pole position in this Japanese Grand Prix, as he is now coming as Indian Jesus back out on circuit as well. Then we are still expecting rain there. Look at those dark clouds gathering there. Goodness me, as we just got Pillar saying Alhan is a Mr. Clean then. We've also got Grant saying cheers Mushroom Bro as well. Lovely bit of bromance there in the old comments there. Lovely stuff indeed that is there. Of course, I do love it when there's a bit of needle though. Well, I do enjoy a bit of friction. But that's because your athletes and you. And of course you're all going for gold, ain't you? And that is a pun that I've definitely intended for there. At the moment the gold standard is Emerson there. He is in third at the moment there. Of course the defending gold standard is actually Grant there. He's just retired from the session there. He is happy with his performance there, or well, he's satisfied with his performance, maybe rather than happy then. So yeah, so if I just struck Clarky's pole position off the list then. So far pole positions this season we have had one from Grant there. We've had one pole position also from Equals as well, and 3 pole positions there for no, it wasn't. One pole position for Total P's. 3 pole positions there from Milan as well. Emerson's been on 4. Good stuff indeed. Then is I'm all over the show tonight. I think I'm just giddy about Lewis Hamilton there winning his 7th World Championship. I gotta say, I am absolutely loving life today, and I think it's amazing, isn't it? It's absolutely fantastic stuff. You'll all know where you are when Hamilton won his 7th World title, because I can still remember watching Michael Schumacher win his 7th World title in the French Grand Prix. That race where I think he did 4 stops there, didn't he? And goodness me, he was taking the mick that day, wasn't he? But of course, France has got such a short pit in and out, haven't they? I think that was where the radical strategy came from, really, wasn't it? Just watching the Haas at 4,300 up then, but unfortunately though for Indian Jesus there, he's had a off somewhere, hasn't he? Diego has gone into full fast, and there's going to be some tears I think in this qualifying session. I think Farf is going to be showing some tears at the moment. He is out of qualifying for at the moment. Mr. Lee is on the edge there, on board with Aguna there as he flies through turn number somewhere over. I know it's the 130R, that's all I know. I think it was actually 15, wasn't it? Sitting there 16 and 17, now into 18 then. And of course Gunnar's got to make sure that ability does a drift wide and go into the bar. Montoya was in the bar there in 2005, wasn't he? It was a big old smash there as well from Montoya. Glock also really hurt himself at the end of the 2009 campaign as well. And of course, we was all blessed with Kamui Kobayashi there with the Toyota as well. And of course, one of my all-time favourite drivers. I love Kobayashi. I think it was amazing, especially before the DRS years. 2009 and 10, some of his overtakes was absolutely amazing stuff indeed. Then Ghost currently is look on the outside looking in the moment, isn't he? As he comes through the second deck now as well. Look how dark it's got. Goodness me, they're going to have to get some headlights on these Formula 1 cars, aren't they? Goodness me. As I gotta say, I think they're on daylight saving times, aren't they, over there? Goodness me, I think we should have started earlier. Ghost then is currently 13 fast at the moment. Then Gunar's just made himself over to 12th at the moment. As a Salmon there is just gone into first position. Lovely 17 then from Salmon there, so it's showing some pace there. Indian Jesus now into 8th fast as well. Then Wallbout to Gunnar. Oh no, it is that's Ghost Recon off its spoon there, and that might have finished off his qualifying performance for today. Jonathan's retired from the session then, and oh dear, that's not good at all, is it? As he is now coming back onto the circuit, and that's a shame. Now is Gunnar still on a hot lap at the moment? I don't think he is. Salmon, so Gunnar there just getting out of the way. Then Salmon is also Salmon Pike is also retired from the session as well. Ghost is going to be coming back into the pits. Then look how dull it's got. Then ALR Vince has asked what's happened to Nosey. Then I think Nosey has just parked it back over the pits, because I don't think he wanted to get wet, especially his hair. He uses some very nice L'Oreal product, doesn't he? We have also got Nightwing saying it's going to rain in qualifying. Free. Oh, I love a bit of rain. We've also got Tango saying these jokes are going. Just stand in the corner. A man after my own heart. I do love a good pedal free. Good stuff indeed there for Tango. I'll give you a good old thumbs up after this session. Indian Jesus said coming out of the final turn as well, and he's going for another time. Then I think that Indian Jesus will be through then, as we're now into the end of qualifying. Then 2 minutes to go until the end of qualifying, but Gunnar's in the pits, Farf's in the pits as well. Ghost is 13th, Nosey is 14th, and Tango is 15th. And I think that is where they're going to finish, where they're going to stay, isn't it? Is that no one is going to go, oh, Farf's out of the pits now. Is my time a little out of sync? I reckon it might be. Oh, there's a bit of sunshine there bursting through those dark clouds over there as well. Grant saying I'm in the race yet, shorty? No. I better keep my trap shut then. So so apologies, guys. I should have said spoiler alert then. But it was a really good race, Grant. I suggest you go and watch it after this ALR event. Then indeed, then we've got Serious Mercy saying nice job, Gunnar. Pike is retired on track there for Jonathan Cox. Is that allowed then? Well, we'll find out. I think that, good to be honest, that's quite a oh, it's a Farfar. That ain't allowed. He's done a spin of Rooney there. Oh dear. Booker T would be very happy with that, but goodness me, I don't think Farf would be, as he just exited out the hairpin as well then. So unfortunately for Farfar, that's not a very good outlap, is it? But he might be able to sneak through and get into qualifying free here. He's got 50 seconds there to get to the end of the lap then. Ghost Recon saying this pace is trash then. Equals, I'm not sure then. Gunnar saying cheers, Mushroom as well. So we're now just on board then. As Indian Jesus has gone fast. It's 3 laps on those soft tyres. Remember, if you get into qualifying free, which Indian Jesus has now gone to qualifying free, you must start on that tyre which is set your fastest time on the course then. So he's going to have 3 extra laps then, on at least 3 extra laps, maybe even 4 or 5 far. Oh dear, that's not good for Indian Jesus then. But we might, as a Farfar is around again. Oh dear, I'm not sure. I think Farfar's had too much tequila in the sun, hasn't he? Oh dear, as Farfar is really putting his welly down there, isn't he? I think this might be end of Farf's qualifying performance there. He would have got through quite easily. Well, he wouldn't have got through quite easily, I should say. He would have crossed the line quite easily as well. But Farfar, I'm not sure if he was having fun or whatnot. But unfortunately, I don't think Ferrari going to be too impressed with that performance there from Farf. But he is 11th on the grid there. And perhaps then might be the golden ticket in this race there. And look at how dull it's got out there. But of course, we are expecting rain in qualifying free. And this is going to get very interesting indeed there. As Gurman has said, typical Ferrari there. It really is, isn't it? I think Farf taking a leaf out of Vettel's book, isn't he, really? And is that we've also got Mushroom saying, "Stay off the wall, Jonathan." So I think that Mushroom is telling her, is just saying to John there, just to get back in his car rather than go on to the pit wall. And I'm speaking absolute rubbish tonight. I don't know. I'm just absolutely delighted with everything. Right, that is the end of qualifying 2. Then let's quickly take a look at the official classification from qualifying 2 and see who has done what. Then, and we'll see the 5 drivers that are out qualifying. Then, so into qualifying 3, we've got 2 drivers that are starting on the soft tyres for the race coming up later on. Then, Indian Jesus is fastest in with Pike in second, Clarkey third, Emerson fourth, Diego in fifth, Jonathan sixth, Alhan seventh, Clarkey eighth, Nightwing ninth, and Mr. Elite in 10th position. Far out qualifying then, but he did his best Kylie Minogue impression in 11th position. Gooner in 12th position, Ghost 13th, Nosy in 14th, and Tango is in 15th position then, as we get ready for qualifying 3 in just a few moments time then. As Peter is saying, does Farf know his car is meant to be pointing forwards, not backwards? I think Farf's on the reverse configuration of the track, isn't he? As Farf saying, spin, baby, spin then. As Farf said, you got to love a good spin now, so I hope Farf ain't got a gambling issue there. It's, I got to say, we'll be on the slots by the end of this one. Luckily, we're in Japan then, and not Monaco. As if you have got a gambling problem, I suggest you don't go to Monaco. Look at those black clouds. I reckon that we're going to have one and done here in this qualifying session then, so these guys are going to have to get out there pronto. And you can see, look at them there. It's a downward start grid, isn't it? So you've got to be a bit more on the brake, haven't you? You accelerators. Granted, there is doing a bit of a quantum leap there. Lovely stuff indeed there. And if anyone gets that reference, I love you. Nightwing coming out of the pits as well then. So it's who's the first car out on circuit? I don't think it's Granty, because I think it's Clarkey. Clarkey's now on a pole position, as we've just discovered. He has had a race win now, hasn't he? Clarkey has, and so can he build on that? We're on board with him now then, as he is now just building up the tyre temperature as well, isn't he? And I am really looking forward to what Clark can do. Oh no, he spun it in Dunlop there, and the tyres are cold. Then Grant is having to take evasive action there, as he is coming back on track then as well. Luckily he hasn't damaged the car then, but oh goodness me, is it because it's too cold for these tyres now then? Oh dear then, so the tyre temperature as well. Nightwing now is right behind the Clark as well, as I thought he said spots of rain there are spots of rain, then that might be why he has spun it around then. It is going to be one and done. It's going to be like single shot qualifying between 3 and 5. Remember those years? I do remember quite badly as well. Of course, David Coulthard hated single shot qualifying, didn't he? In the McLaren and Red Bull as well. As Grant's there coming out of Spoon as well. It's raining quite heavily already. This track is going to be saturated. Equals rain. There is rain afoot, isn't there? And Tango's asking for. Tango is asking for qualifying prediction, and I got to say, anyone who's brave enough to do a qualifying prediction, then go ahead. I'll read them all out then. Indeed, then as Equal saying it's rain, Tango saying started raining. Goody, and just pressing it could be anyone's Tango in this weather. Granted, then he's only had one pole position this season, hasn't he? The double world champion that's back in Azerbaijan in round 8 there, and of course he's only had one race win as well, hasn't he? Grant he has, but he has had 7 podiums, so he's very much a points machine, isn't he? The double world champion, and he is now going up the S as well. Look how dull it's going red. Pike hasn't come out of the pitch yet, and we're on board. They're coming through Dunlop. Remember, that's where Clarkey spun it around then as well, as they now come into the first deck. Now got to be more gingerly around here. Now, he had a bit of I thought he had a bit of grip there on the AstroTurf. Lovely 17 then under the crossover as well then, before coming up to the Kobayashi hairpin there. He made famous back in 2010, if I recall. There he's banging cars left, right and centre there. Granted, they're not banging anything at the moment there. He is just banging up front as well. Of course, there as we go through the kink of the right kink now, before coming to Spoon as well. There's treacherous in the wet then, and there's no spray under the cars at the moment. Let's see then. Granted, that coming out of Spoon as well. Look how dull it's got now. You can definitely see the brake disc glowing there. Can you? As now we're raising back up the hill then, as I have pulled my headset to one side. I need to get a wireless one, I think. Now coming into the 130R as well. well. Look at that then, as he tickles the 194 mile an hour before breaking down into second gear as well then. 60 miles an hour before accelerating away. Here comes the defending champion there. Oh, he got a bit of a swapper on there, and Grant comes across right. He's done a 28 then, and Badinia Jesus on pole position. Emerson is jumped back quicker. Jonathan is on pole position there. Oh my word there, and Jonathan might have sprung a surprise here in Japan. Grant is the slowest of the time runner so far. Mr. Lee is in 8th position there, and what about Diego? Diego coming through the final corner as well, and Diego goes 7th fastest. Pike's out on track as well, but Jonathan, he has got 10 pole positions in his career so far, and he could be staring at his 11th one today, can he? As a Jonathan now, I think it'd be one and done in this qualifying performance there. Jonathan, he's only had 1 pole position this season. That's the brilliance, and that was back in the Austrian Grand Prix. And goodness me then, so Jonathan now here in Japan then, and he does love this circuit, doesn't he? The British Italian driver, and he is on pole position then for the 2nd time this season, and for the 11th time in his career thus far. Though, is anyone going to knock him off his perch then? As we're just watching Pike then, he's coming out the triangle chicane as well, and I gotta say that was a lovely Goon is saying that was a lovely lap from John in that weather. It's brilliant, wasn't it? Absolutely fantastic equals. Wow. And just on board now, Serious Merchant saying the first man across the line would be my guess there, but unfortunately I think Serious Merchant then said damn straight after that, didn't he? On board with Pike as well, and he's coming through the S as well. Look at this, you're holding on to the seat of your pants now, aren't you, as you come up these left rights said. 7 minutes to go in this qualifying session, but I think that might be done and dusted. And oh my goodness me, going very wide then, as we got 2 Haas's in qualifying 3. Good stuff indeed then. We got 2 Renaults in qualifying 3 as well. Beautiful stuff indeed then. And so really good stuff there from both those teams, and hopefully get some good points on the board then. And now then there's Pike coming into the hairpin as well. Serious Merchant saying that was some serious effort there from Jonathan. Well done. As Grant saying, man, that curb there, he was on board with Granty when it happened there, wasn't he? He got a swapper on, didn't he? And that is cost him valuable time, maybe even track position as well. That is a big blow, isn't it? As now we're just watching Pike there going a bit wide, and look at the sun trying to burst out the clouds there, but I feel it's too well there now, isn't it? As we got Pike there who's now rising up the hill as well. What's his second intermediate 2 time? A 15-0 then, as he goes into the 130 on there. He's almost 3 miles an hour slower than Granty there when he was doing his time there. Now going into the triangle chicane as well. And I've got to say, Pike is doing a really good lap on here, actually. Very good stuff indeed. Oh my goodness me, of course, Granty had a similar issue there. But Pike does a 32 then. 4 seconds off the pace of Mr. Lee then. But I think that was a very good time there from Pike, considering the fact of how moist it was out there. And good speed there. As Serious Merchant there saying, it's a long race for Granty. It really is, isn't it? Of course, he's in 8th position at the moment, but so he can definitely get something going from there. So 5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Jonathan is on pole position, and of course this is where he won his first ALR race of his career, wasn't it? Back in season 1 then, and he is on pole position then here tonight then for the 11th time in his ALR career. Of course he's got the most pole positions there in his ALR, he's got the most pole positions in ALR history, hasn't he? Clark is alongside him on Road 1. Once again, Clarkey has not got a pole position just yet, as I wrongfully said earlier on there. Emerson, the championship leader, in 3rd position. Alhan is 4th then. 5th position, Nightwing. Good stuff indeed there of Indian Jesus in 6th. Diego 7th with Granty in 8th position. Granty's going for a 2nd bite of cherry. 9th position is Mr. Lee, and Pike is in 10th position as well then. Grant is now out on the circuit then, as Pike there is just steaming back to the pits as well then. So Grant on out like we've also got Mr. Lee also on the circuit as well. You might as well go for it, haven't you? Because this is all or nothing now. DRS has been disabled though. I think that might be it then. It's done and dusted. It's in this qualifying session. DRS is quite a difference maker down the start finish straight, isn't it? Emerson's retired from the session as well. Got under 4 minutes to go. This qualifying session's flown by, goodness me. Yes, we've only got 4 minutes to go in this qualifying session as well. Granted, then it's all or nothing. Then we are expecting a dry race, of course, and this is the only weather we are expecting in this Japanese event. Then, excuse me. Oh, there we go. As I clear my throat then. Now then, what can Grant do? He's coming back in the pits then. I think he knows that it's done, and doesn't he? So it's Mr. Lee, I think, might also be back in the pits as well. And once again, the Renault team are doing a splendid job out there. Really good stuff indeed then. So congratulations to Jonathan. Absolutely fantastic stuff. It really is. A lot of you may be thinking, I'm counting my chickens before they hatch them, but of course the track is too wet now. DRS has been disabled. I'll eat my hat if anyone goes quicker than Jonathan now then. So Jonathan there is second pole position of his season, I should say, and it's 11th of his career as well. Good stuff indeed there from the British Italian driver. Lovely stuff indeed there, and I've got to say that's come out of nowhere. Serious Much saying the sun might come out yet. This is Codemasters after all. Indeed, Liz, is it? Of course, we've had a lot of as I mentioned already, we've had a lot of rain-affected qualifying sessions as well. If anyone remembers, the Japanese qualifying session in 2005 was really set up that fantastic race where Kimi Räikkönen won from 18th on the grid, or was it 17th? I think it was 17th or 18th on the grid, wasn't it? It was really good stuff indeed there. We had Fernando Alonso near the back. We had Michael Schumacher near the back as well. Fisichella probably could have won. Should have won that race, shouldn't he? Clarkey out on track now on the intermediate tyres, and look at that now, how much rain has fallen there. Of course, about 10 laps ago, it was just spotting, wasn't it? Just spitting. Now it's a lot of moisture out on circuit there. Pike is also out on track as well with 2.5 minutes to go then in this session, but there is spray out there. Pike, I'm not sure if he's going to make it through the lap of this. He's going to have to take it very cautiously indeed, isn't he? And let's take a look then. Yeah, you can see he's just trying to get the power down, isn't it? It's quite good. It's definitely quite a good comparison, isn't it, between a dry track and a wet track, isn't it? And but unfortunately for Pike, then he's not going to be too interested in that whatsoever, is he? As he comes through Dunlop as well. So we've got 2 minutes to go in this session, and I've got to say, I think that, unfortunately, that's the end of qualifying, really, isn't it? The weather really put pace that. It's been threatening to rain now, hasn't it, since the halfway through qualifying 2, really. I think it was very dark in qualifying 2. Goodness me. And of course, the rain finally came then towards the end of qualifying 3, or just at the beginning of qualifying 3 there, and it was one and done there. But Jonathan there, of course, he is very much a qualifying specialist, isn't he? The British Italian driver. He is on pole position then as well. It's 11th pole position of his career. Now, what can he do from there? He hasn't had a win yet this season, has he? And Jonathan would love to get his third career win in ALR. That would be absolutely brilliant stuff indeed then. But can he do it? Of course, it's a long old race, and there's 27 laps around this Japanese Grand Prix circuit, and there is a lot of twists and turns there, isn't it? Not just about the course as well, about strategy, and of course his combatants as well. That's how you say it, isn't it? I don't know. But there's 16 drivers that wants to be chasing Jonathan down, going into turn 1 there, and of course the race is coming up imminently as well there, so do not go anywhere, folks. I hope you're tugging into your Sunday teas or lunches or whatever or maybe even you got some prawn cocktail crisps out there. Wow, my goodness me, Clark is 4 seconds down there, but you wouldn't have thought that. We're going through Degner to 1 there, goodness me. And I gotta say, Clark there is really giving it all, isn't he? As I think the Clark has done a bit of fun out there, isn't he? Of course, the former race winner, he won last night in the Russian Grand Prix, didn't he, Clark? He did. And I got to say, this season's been really good, hasn't it? We've had Total P's there. He's had his first Grand Prix wins. We've had Caesar and Clark as well there. Those 3 drivers have really announced themselves this season. I'm looking forward to next season as well. Look at that drift there from Clarky. Brilliant 17. I think he's just showboating out there for the fans there. I think that all you guys are probably enjoying this bit of action there from Clarky. Lovely 17 there. Pike there is just not as going as quick as Clark there, going through Dunlop. 7 seconds down Clark is, but goodness me, you would be able to tell, would you, by the commitment of this lap. Fantastic stuff indeed that Clark there just come through the triangle chicane as well. That was a famous chicane there where Senna and Prost came to blows in 1989 in the McLaren team, and of course it really just it's a Pike is off the circuit there, and that's going into the hairpin. I think Danny Fiat had a big old smash there in 2015, didn't he, as the Red Bull flipped over as well. Goodness me. But Pike there has had no such issues like that there. He's just a harmless spin there from the Alfa Romeo driver, and he'll be coming back to the pits, I have no doubt about that. But oh goodness me then, and you can see, look at how difficult these are. Of course, these are full slick tires these days, isn't it? Of course, there is a 100% contact patch there on the course there. So of course, back last time we had groove tires, 2008. There was 4 grooves there, that were grooved into the tire, really, wasn't it? Of course, no, it's just so the car's down. And so Pike airs off, he's in the wall, and of course, I think that was a long time coming there from Pike there, as he was throwing caution to the wind there, sailing at 2 too close to the win there for Pike, and he has damaged the car, but I think that's not going to be no problem at all there for the Alfa Romeo car. Mechanics are just going to build the car and get it ready for the race as well then, and yes, the countdown's on then. As we just watch as XR as just asked, says Clarky used to be Clarky boy. Yes, he did. Well, Jonathan got there first. Oh, his wheels fallen off. Yeah, and Jonathan saying yes, indeed he was there. So, and that is the end of qualifying. And it's Dylan Clark has just subscribed to us as well there. So a big thumbs up, lovely stuff indeed. Then I love how I've got my notifications set up and oh good. I'd give myself a sci-fi 5 if I could, but it'll make an awful slapping noise. Right then, here's the top 10 then, and Jonathan nailed that up. Then he was at almost 2/10 second in front of Clark in second position. Jonathan's 11th pole position of his career, his second of the season. Then Clark in second position. The championship leader Emerson in third position, but he's in front of his championship protagonist. Fourth position is Alhan. Fifth is Nightwing. Jesus in sixth position there. Diego 7th. Granty 8th. Mr. Lee 5th, 9th, and Pike is in 10th position. Let's go racing around the Japanese Grand Prix. As Exile is saying, he's a massive fan of Clarky. Good stuff indeed there. And yeah, so Exile would definitely cheering on the man who's second on the grid then. There's going to be a lot of drivers there. There's going to be a lot of fans there cheering on Jonathan from 11th, from his 11th pole position of his career as well. And I've got to say, it's not exactly, you're not going to get a suntan out there, are you? Goodness me, it's a very dull and overcast here around Suzuka as well. Serious Mushroom saying, good luck. Remember, single file through turn 1 there. I got to say, Serious Mushroom there, if you believe that anyone's going to be single file through turn 1, gosh, there. Of course, I think last season, I think we had an incident involving Nigel, didn't we, going down to turn 1? Nigel's had an appalling record around here. We unfortunately haven't got Nigel tonight, and he's missed the last couple of races. Our first ever champion then. He's had a very difficult season, Nigel is, isn't he? So hopefully he'll come back stronger at the United States Grand Prix in just over a week's time, of course, as we are now, that'll be round 19, of course. We're on round 18 at the moment. We've just got over a month left of ALR action for season 3. 4, I should say. Goodness me. Right then. As the countdown is about finished, and you can see the marshals are in their overalls and getting ready for action then as well. We're going to have a lot of pit stops in this race. Remember last season in bronze it was Gurman in particular, it came down to the pit stop, didn't it, in the end then, and that's what I think got Gurman the victory. Of course there was also Gurman's great pace as well. His in-laps and out-laps are absolutely spectacular. Let's go for the grid show from front to back from pole position as Jonathan there is lighting up his tires here. He has flown away. Let's go for the grid show from pole position there to checker flag. No, not from checker flag to last position there. Right then. So, Jonathan then, this is 11th pole position. I keep repeating it because it's a fantastic start there for the British Italian driver. His second pole of the season. Clarky is on the front row. Remember, he won last time out in Japan then. Japan in Russia. So, hopefully we'll get 2 for 2 here tonight then for Clarky's, from Clarky's point of view. On board with Emerson, as we mentioned there, of course, a lovely tribute helmet out to what children need for Emerson tonight. He's also the championship leader as well. 40 points in front of Pease, who's not racing tonight. Alhan is in at 4th position there. Of course, he's mathematically in the championship still, but I think that he is, I think he'll be very happy with 4th position at the end of this one. Nightwing then, of course, Nightwing really looked strong in Russia, but unfortunately, he didn't get any points out. 6th position is Indian Jesus on soft tires along with Diego, both Haas drivers there going for the same strategy then. Granty in 8th position there. Of course he messed up his first run in qualifying 3. There was only one run. He is down 8th position. Mr. Lee in 9th position in the Renault, and we have Pike in at 10th position as well. Farf was get to choose his tires. He is on the medium tire at 11th position then. 12th position is Gooner on soft tires. Ghost is also on the soft tires as well. Nosey making a return to ALR for the first time this season as well. Of course Nosey has got a well, let's just take a look at his statistics. Sorry, we also got Knowles today. Of course, he had 151 points in his career as well. 19 starts and 2 pole positions there. 7 podiums in his career as well. He's only had 4 DNFs there, Knowles. That's a good 17 there. He's 14th on the grid on the medium tyre. Tango is in a 15th position, and also this is Knowles' 20th Grand Prix start as well. Tango in 15th position, and of course the qualifying ban. 16th position is Equals and King's Omen 72 as well. Equals hard tyres, medium tyres for King's Omen, Knowles and a Tango as well. Here we go then, of course, Red Bull second in the Constructors' Championship, of course, but this is I don't go. It's got it out for a rail there. He was just not even concerned. It's Liam there, of course. Victor last time out then. Good luck all as well as Liam will be keeping a close eye to see what actually is going to wait for him tomorrow night, of course. But as we're just on board, Jonathan then, he has slowed the pack right down there. He is experienced about being on pole position in gold then, as I've already mentioned. He is the most, got the most pole positions then in the history of ALR then, and I think that he will hold that record now till at least the start of season 5. There is the pit stop strategy then. We have one stops for medium to hard tires. Medium, soft, medium then might be the other strategy going in, but that'll be a 2-stopper as well. Jonathan is lined up on his marks there, and of course there was a lot of debate, wasn't there, back in 1990 about pole position being on the wrong side. Well, today it is on the left hand side or the right hand side, depending on where you look. Here we go then. And there's a lot of calm before the storm as well then, so we're on lap 2 already somehow, and we're just now waiting for those lights to go on. And so here we go then, there they are then. So of course I will, there's always a delay isn't there, so I'm going to just leave it there. And now here we go then, and it is go. Oh, it's go already then, and Jonathan gets a lot of wheel spin, doesn't he? So Clark, is bogged down the second phase of the start, and that's a Haas trying to go through. Oh no, it's a sandwich. Anderson's in the wall. It's a Hammerstein. Grant is also down as well. Oh my word then, and look at this, it's the one of the Haas's there just sandwiched and trying to come through the middle, and Emerson is out of the Japanese Grand Prix. Oh, Grant is down the back as well. What a shocker, and it's a safety car as well, and of course there's a 5-place oh no, and oh my goodness me, Becca saying oh my then, and I'm not sure who it was it Diego or was it Indian G-Sen who had a great start there, and I was trying to launch in the middle there, wasn't he? Clark had Napoleon second phase of that start, didn't he? And because of that then, and because of that he bogged down, and Clark is now in second position at the moment, but goodness me, and that is incredible then. Gurman OMG then, Payne's wow, and now that's a plot twist there from Beck as well, but Emerson, oh my word there, and I think he's going to be furious then, as Emerson is out of the race before he got to turn 1 then, and what a shocking start into this Japanese Grand Prix as well. And I think all I remember is reading out Sarah's Mercer's comment then, single file into turn 1, but unfortunately they didn't even get to turn 1, did they? What a shocking start into this race then. Granty also down to the back as well, because Granty was also involved then. What incredible what incredible somebody there is. Liam was saying I need to watch that again then. ALR Vintage also said unreal then. It really was, wasn't it? It was one of the Haas's out at Steam Forward, and he got sandwiched, didn't he? And he got sandwiched there, and unfortunately Emerson was tipped into the barrier, and he is out of this race then already. And that is a big blow indeed then into the pits. So we've got pit stop drama already into the pits. There comes Gunnar, and it comes a Ghost as well. We got Alhan and equals. Alhan is also in the pits, and I think Alhan was also in forward as well. And now he's coming in the pits and changing the nose cone, isn't he? Gunnar is, and it was a shocking start, and 5-second penalty for Granty for speeding in the pits, and Granty is in the pits now, and Ghost there is just coming to the pits. Alhan is had to queue there because Ghost there was also in the pits. Well, here comes the world champion there. He is on the soft tires, Granty is then. Let's see what he can do from here on in then. And Emerson is what a joke then. Emerson, out of all the people then, Jesus parted them like Moses parting the sea then. So I think so it looks like a serious rush. It was Jesus then who had the who seemed to go in the middle there, didn't he? And that was a big blow indeed there. Oh dear, and that is that is not good at all. We've got a safety car at the start of this. Emerson's left for session. I think he's going to be absolutely livid, isn't he? And I don't think that anyone's going to be. I don't think Emerson's going to want to speak to anyone for quite a long period after this race, and he's got a 40-point advantage then. So at the moment Emerson does have a bit of breathing space in the championship. His closest challengers at Pease is not racing tonight then, and Granty is also near the back as well. He's actually at the back at the moment. He's down in 15th position there, so it is still not so it's not going to be as damaging, but Emerson can't do anything about it, can he? And this was today was a day where he really could have probably stretched his lead in the Drivers' Championship, of course, and Renault also were looking very good in the constructors as well. But Jonathan is leading at the moment. Good 17th there for Jonathan. So let's take stock then. Lap 3 then of this race, and I think it's lap 2 actually, but I have no idea what's going on then. As So we just got blatant race there. Jesus could do no wrong, people. So we've now got Jonathan, who's in this race set. Second position is Clarky. Third position is Nightwing. Fourth position is Diego. InGen Jesus in fifth position. Pike is up in the sixth set with Mr. Elite is seventh. Kingdom is come from the back of the grid and moved up into eighth position. Lovely stuff indeed there. Ninth position is Farf. 10th position is Nosey. Tango in 11th position. We got Gunnar and Ghost in 12th and 13th position to the pits. There comes at the Ferrari driver of Farf. I've missed Farf. I have missed Farf. And we got then we have Granty, Equals and Alhan as well. Farf in the pits. Change to the soft tires and he comes out now then. As Liam saying, performing miracles all of life, and as he's now coming out of the pits as well. So the biggest winner out of all that is Kingso. He's up 8 positions there. He had a very action-packed return to ALR Gold, didn't he? In Russia there, but here tonight, and I think that he is happy. He's up to 8 positions. He's got up 9 positions so far. Kingso. Alhan has dropped down 11 positions, and Emerson down 7, and Emerson's also dropping down a lot of positions as well, unfortunately. So there's going to be a lot of green on that side, but unfortunately, they didn't even get to turn 1 before. They seem to drive into each other. That's a shame then. Well, Becca's already thrown her hat into the ring, hasn't she? She's just said, looking at that turn 1 instance, it was 100% Farf's fault. And I gotta say, I kind of agree with Becca there, because Farf always seems to be at the wrong place at the wrong time, doesn't he? Yes, if there's anyone to blame, it's usually that red Ferrari of Farf, isn't it? But of course, Farf is actually coming to the pitch, changed his strategy, and he's now on the soft tires. Milan is said unlucky then, and Serious was saying too much going on to keep before my eyes to keep up then. I had no idea what went on either. All I see was a Haas come through quite quickly there. Took off like a scolded cat, didn't it, that Haas? Did brilliant stuff indeed then. Unfortunately, maybe took off too quickly around here. It's a very narrow old school pit, an old school start line, isn't it? And that is difficult indeed there. Vintage is saying that Jesus probably should have pitted there to get rid of those soft set. And I wonder if that could be the same for Diego as well. I think it was the Diego who had 3 laps worth of three laps worth of soft tire usage there, and perhaps Diego might like to have come in the pits as well, but it's very difficult around this circuit, isn't it? Traffic is always going to be a problem, isn't it? It's so narrow. There's only one DRS zone around here now. It's on the start finish straight, isn't it? Just watching Clark and then safety cars in the end of the stop, and Jonathan is going to bunch up the field then as we're on board then as well, and I thought they was going to concertina into each other then, and a lovely shot here from Jonathan there. You can see he's got a lot of overtake usage there. Bermolander is disappearing off then. This is an old school circuit. I was expecting safety cars, but maybe not too early then. And now then we're going to get racing in just a few moments then. So Jonathan going to drop the hammer now then. So he's coming through the triangle chicane then. And here we go. We are back racing then for Japan. I've got to say, we haven't even raced yet, I don't feel. We're back racing then. So Jonathan leads then with Clarky in second position then. Good start then for Clarky. He's all over the back of the bridge. Italian drivers to go into turn 1 then. And Knowles has dropped down to 9th position because Tango's moved up into 9th position as they fly through turn 1 as well. As a Farfish just got past Alhan. Alhan's had an appalling start, hasn't he? Jonathan leads to the road there. Second is Clarky. Third position is Night with Diego in 4th and Jesus in 5th position. Pike 6th, Mr. Elite 7th, Kingzone fantastic 8th position, Tango 9th, Nosey in 10th position, got Q behind him with Gunnar, a Ghost there, Granty, Equals, and then we've got Farf and Alhan as well. Alhan's had a appalling start there, hasn't he? He seems to have been caught napping there perhaps into the second deck now as well then. Now let's see what Jonathan can do then. Can we see the older Jonathan then? We haven't seen much of the older Jonathan before, have we, in this season? He's I think he's very struggled on this game, I think, but it's great to see him back at the front there. Jonathan is a 2-time Grand Prix winner in ALR, and he's already starting to stretch away, isn't he? Nightwing then, of course, this is going to be interesting to see what Nightwing could do as well. Of course, this is only his second Grand Prix start here in ALR, and at the moment he is in 3rd position now. I'm giving Clarky some cause for concern then. Grant is on the very close to the inside there. That's where he overtook Emerson last season. Ghost there, oh my goodness me, how close can you be there? And Grant comes in 7th position there. Ghost there is now wrong foot there, and now he's dropped down to 40th position. What about Equals as well? Farf is going to be a fiend under threat as well. Goodness me, there goes Street's going into the 130R as well. Oh my word! And at the moment it is still Ghost there as we got Diego's dropping down a couple of positions. What's happened to Diego? And Diego's struggling. Oh goodness me, it's getting very hair and scared there, isn't it? And Mr. Elite is flying for the field, but look at this Pike is trying to go back on the inside into turn 1, but Mr. Elite there is flying the flag for the yellow car tonight, isn't it? With his championship leader Emerson now this race already. He is the only retirement so far for Emerson as we're going through the S's once again then. And I'm not sure Diego then on one of this that's the tyre wear, isn't it, from qualified. He's done a lot of laps on these soft tyres, and that's why he is dropping down the order, I believe, if I'm not very much mistaken. Then Pike though is gotta say, looking on it like a car bullet. About lovely stuff indeed. Then Farfar and Granty then, who have seemed to be involved in a lot of skirmishes. Oh, he's gonna go on the outside to take that. Not quite then. And Farfar and Granty going slightly wide. Then yeah, these two have been very much in the mix, and then once again they find themselves on the same piece of tarmac, don't they? These two things, Singapore, and also I'm sure that they almost came together in Russia as well. But you seem to get that, don't you? Where you always seem to trip over the same driver. Remember Massa and Hamilton back in 2011 now. Now we're on board then with Farf at the moment, as he is looking very racy at the moment, isn't he, Farfitz? Oh, goodness me, he's going underneath Granty there at the second part of Spoon now. Now that it's really a launch out there. Knowlesy is currently in the final point scoring position right now for Red Bull. Red Bull is second in the constructors at the moment now. And this is a golden opportunity there for Red Bull. Oh, my goodness me! Oh, wow, he's got on the outside the 130 yard. Brilliant 17th. Then Farfitz taken him. And taken Granty, moved up into 12th position. What a maneuver. Jonathan has set the fast up of the race as well. And Granty is already saying he was struggling for his race setup there, wasn't he? But goodness me, that's a good overtake there for Farf, but Farf's going to defend, and look at the sense they go wheel to wheel going into turn one. Wow! And Farf is trying to go off and under. He is trying to go off and under. This is brilliant there, as the two rivals go. Granty's been forced off the circuit there, and Granty dropping down into 13th position as well. And I got so I get very excited when I see Farf and Granty on the same piece of track, because it's usually going to be an absolutely frightful. Oh my goodness me, what's going on there? And Equals is dropping down the order as well. He's down into 16th position. And the reason why Alham may have dropped back actually is because he's on the harder tyres, isn't he? Which was unbeknownst to me there. So I really need to take more notice about what's going on in this race then. I'm just watching Diego at the moment. He is a tyre where it's going to be quite high at this stage of proceedings, isn't he? And there he is. He's keeping Mr. Lee on it at the moment there, so he's keeping him honest so far then. As we've got Sarah saying this is amazing. Go on, Gunnar Lad as well then. And it's just now back on board then with Diego then. Is Mr. Lee there. He's had a good old launch now, isn't he? Out of Spoon as well. There's a Ferrari of Kingdom then, who is out under the caution there, isn't he? And that is a Tango as well. Tango's having a look down into the 130 yard. Goodness me. Racing Farfar, and now we're going to see Tango's right. He's almost pushing him out of the 130 yard. Kingdom was trying to defend it. He's going to give him a squeeze. And Clarky set a fast up race, and Clarky is now found his feet then. And look at this, and his teammate now is going this way and that way, but Kingdom will not be deterred, will he? Oh my goodness me. Now Clarky right underneath the rear wing. He passes Kingdom and moves up into 9th position. Splendid stuff indeed. As we're going to turn one. Farfar's got past Gunnar as well. Where are they? There is Farfan, and Granty in at 13th position. Well, they're on those soft tyres as well. Clark has now got it under to a second now, as he was. Nightwing is now 2 seconds back at the moment then. So Clark then staring at his second Grand Prix victory within 2 weeks. Good 17th there for Clark at the moment now. And really, he's very much. Oh, he's got the sweet bit. He's got the sweet bit, hasn't he, between his teeth at the moment. Good stuff. And just watching Diego then, I'm already perspirating here. Goodness me. Oh gosh, just go over the top of my loaf as well as we go into the hairpin once again. Tango, who is on medium tires, so only the two half tires are on soft tires in the top 10. Farfit on the fringe of the top 10, right behind that Knowlesy at the moment then. As we hope we have a bit of admin love there, as we do not want to see those two guys get into too much bother then, as Kingdom is struggling. I'm not sure if Kingdom's got damage or whatnot, but that Ferrari car is really struggling for performance at the moment then. It's Knowlesy then is letting her far through there, so I think that Farf might have Farf of course showing that he has got the more authority, hasn't he? Of course, I'm Josh there. So just watching then. Just watching a Pike and Mr. Elite then, and look at the queue of cars behind in the background there as well. There's also Diego, then we got Tango as well, and look at this as they're coming over the grid as well. But Mr. Elite is looking fantastic, isn't he? Pike then's going to the inside, Mr. Elite is on the outside, Pike goes in, and I thought Mr. Elite is going to go up and under there, but good defending there from Pike there, good attack in there from so look at this as Grant has got past the Gunnar as well. Alhan has just got past the Ghost then, and Ghost has dropped down into 15th position, and Alhan is going for a much longer first part of this race, isn't he? So keep an eye on Alhan. He's on the hard tire. He's the only man onto the hard tire at the moment, and Alhan is. So he is going to be going very deep into this race as well. We've got both Ferraris also in combat as well now. And Mr. Elite there is now gone from attack to defense, doesn't it? That's how quick, Equal's got a 3-second penalty. That's how quick that you really go from, isn't it? You basically have to switch, switch your attention, don't you? And that's two Ferraris are getting very close and cozy there, isn't it? Goodness me. And as Liam saying, it's going swimmingly for Pike then. Oh, I love that. So look at this, he's going on the outside. The two Ferraris are almost coming to blows there, but far through out the inside, passes his teammate. He is on soft tires. Farf's going through the field like a hot knife through Barrett at the moment. Good stuff indeed there for Farf. I gotta say, he's looking very strong at the moment, isn't he? Back here then, and then look at this, and it's now Mr. Elite. It's now Diego, goodness gracious me, and he was cutting the corner there, Diego was, and oh gosh, I definitely got to say that was getting very hair and scare indeed, wasn't it? As now they're coming across the triangle chicane, so Jonathan now has got a 5/10 of a second gap over himself and Clarkey, who's in second position, Nightwing in third position at the moment. Indian Jesus in a strong fourth position. Diego has dropped back now after the issue you had then on the 130 yard there, and unfortunately, I put him on the back foot, and he needs tyres on more than 8 laps out, of course, because he's done about 3-4 laps in qualifying, hasn't he? So so Diego's done probably about 11-12 laps on these tyres so far. Granty's had some issues there. He has dropped down the order, hasn't he? Granty then, and it looks like the two main championship challengers at the moment are not scoring inputs. So Emerson can't do anything about it. Of course, Pease is not in this race there, and we've also got Emerson, who's on the sidelines as well. Ghost has got past Granty as well. Granty got some damage there. Just take a look then. He is he's got a full wing there, but he's just really strong at this stage, isn't he? Not making those soft tires work to his advantage. Whereas Farfair is really flying out there at the moment, isn't he? And Liam is saying that Liam is saying that Mr. Lee is seeing him in there. Serious Rushman has told me to steal. It's told me to steal the pun there from Liam as well then. And of course, Serious Rushman saying, Liam, you're a gift that keeps on giving as well. There will be no more puns tonight then. I can't say that. I hope not, because I do love a good pun. So just watching Tango at the moment there. He is in he is in 7th position mode, and look at that though. But I think that we need to be more concerned about Mr. Elite there. And once again, he's all over the back of Pike as well, isn't he? As they're going into the triangle chicane, Mr. Lee as well. Look at that, and the back end seems to want to get very floaty on the exit of that turn, doesn't it? And as you come across the line again, there's a DRS and wide open. Look at this, there's a Pike there is trying to break the slipstream. As at the moment, Clark has dropped back to almost 2 seconds. He must have made a mistake somewhere, or is he just cooling the car, cooling those tires then? As Knowles has got past Kingto as well. Where is he? Knowles now in the 10th position, but Kingto is trying to go back on the inside there. But Knowles has the high ground, doesn't he? And we all know about what happens when you have the high ground. If anyone watches Star Wars, of course. Mr. Elite then is in 6th position, only dropped back slightly. Jonathan's got a 3-second penalty. That is not good at all, is it? Tango there going very wide into going very wide there out of Dunlop as well. Is Pillars is saying there, watch out for Alhan on those hard tires. Yes, Alhan, the only man on the hard tires, but he is about 4/10 seconds away from Gunnar, and Alhan is going to be very much glowing under the radar at the moment, isn't he? So I think the guys at the front need to be very concerned about Alhan, I feel. Good spot indeed there from Pillars, as we're back on board then with Tango as well. This is where the heart of the battle is so far, is that we've got Pike, Mr. Lee, Tango and Diego as well. And Farf is now almost 2 seconds behind this battle as well, as they are flying past me as well and going up into the 130 yard, and no DRS up this straight at the moment. And look at this, and it's Mr. Lee is very quick in a straight line, isn't he? Look at that, it's a Pike here is feeling very concerned there. Look in front then, and that is one the Haas said, and that is Indian Jesus said, who is starting to drop back slightly. Of course, he is on soft tires there, and he's done another lap on those soft tires, and into the pits comes Diego then. It's almost 13 laps worth of laps. That's almost 13 laps on those soft tires. So definitely good barometer there. And now Indian Jesus, I think, might be in the next couple of laps as well, as because of the soft tires are now starting to really drop off then 6 seconds back then. Pillars just said there's more action in this race than there is at work then, and good stuff indeed there from Pillars, and great to have your company along for the ride as well. Granty at the moment there is trying to find his feet again, and as Gunnar's off the track. Gunnar is off the circuit, and he's reversing back on that Tango, as he's also got a 3-second penalty for his efforts as well. Gunnar was having a good race up until that point as well. Diego is now back on circuit, and he's going going for the undercut here. Goodness me, look at these train of cars here. And look at how much time we've got a yellow flag again because Gunnar's off again. And Gunnar's having some issues there. He's off with Dunlop then. And oh dear, that's not good at all for Gunnar, is it? Back here then is now Injured Jesus said it's a restart to Constantine up this battle here, hasn't he? Look at this, going over Spoon as well then. And before going down there. Liam saying Gunnar's going to regret that mistake. That's unfortunate for Gunnar then, because I think he was right in the thick of things, wasn't he? What shame for the Red Bull driver. The other Red Bull driver knows then. 2 subs then for Red Bull's line. I love a good sub as well, as we are flying through 130 as well. Look at that, Mr. Leitner not taking too much of the outside curve then, because he is now in race mode, isn't he? He's not in qualifying mode there, where you have to use every inch of the circuit then. Into the pits. There comes Jesus said. So yeah, Jesus said of course has been struggling. Oh, he's got a 5-second penalty. That's not going to talk for the Haas driver. Mr. Lee is now to a very fine 4th position. Good stuff indeed there. And these trio cars and just following each other at the moment, aren't they? So Nosey up to 8th position there as well. King's up for the 9th position then onto the medium tyres. How goes the Haas car, and oh, they're changing the nose cone there. So I think that's the nose cone anyway, because that's a very long stop there for the Haas. Look how bumpy it is there on the pit apron, and he's coming on the pits now. There's Equals going by. I think Diego's going to be by him as well. He is indeed there. So that's a lot of time lost then, isn't it, for the Haas Engine Jesus and going back to this battle here because it's getting very close once again. And Farf is looks like he's dropping off the pace out onto those hard tyres and says we're saying that car can't handle Gunnar's pace, and he's gone up the inside then. Oh, it's going to get very squeezy there. And look at this then. And Mr. Elite there going on the outside there is Tango is doing a Kobayashi special there. Unfortunately, that didn't work out that time. Look in front there. There is Pike then, who is now with the 4th position. He's a good strong drive from Pike. Remember, he's qualified 10th on the grid there. Diego is now back in front of Equals. Equals dropping down to 14th position. He's really struggling for pace Equals at the moment then. And look at this then. It's Mr. Elite. Look at it. We've got a green bar on the steering wheel. Tango is right up the different. Look at this, what a shot, fantastic, he's on the inside, amazing manoeuvre, he has passed Mr. Lee and moved up into 5th position as well. We've also got Alhan getting past Kingto as well. Alhan is on the hard tyres. Those hard tyres are working absolute like a treat, and they had good 17 there for Alhan there. He was involved in that first corner melee. Really, he's put that behind him quite quickly as well, hasn't he, because he's put on the hard tyres, and he's going very well indeed then. Is he within the pit window of the top runners then? Let's take a look, shall we? And he is about 20 seconds away, so he's there or thereabouts, I would say, into the pit seconds. Granted, Ghost is out of the race then, so I'm not sure what happened to Ghost there, but he's coming to the pits. Has he crossed to the pit entry there? I'm not sure, but I don't think he has, because it's, yeah, no, he hasn't. He's just coming to the pits and retired. That's not good at all for Ghost, but that's a shame now for the Mercedes driver. Just going back to Gunnar's got a 5-second penalty there for speeding in the pits, and on board with Mr. Elite and Tango, who's just got past him on the last lap now. Tango's next target is Sam. Sam? I've got Sam on the brain, I know it's because I've seen him in the comments earlier on then. Is Pike then, yellow flag in at 1, then it's the Mercedes car just coming to a halt then. 2 retirements, Emerson out, Ghost is out as well. Unfortunately, Ghost is retiring just a minute ago. Emerson retiring before he even got to turn 1, didn't he? And as now then, so they come up into the 130R as well then, as you can see then, so then Pike then, and Grant's got a 3-second pole as well. There's a lot of drivers having a bit of a bad day out there at the moment. Indian Jesus is now in 30th position, right behind Equals at the moment then, and it's a Tango now before he left. He's had issues at Tango as and look at this, Mr. Elite. That's an easy overtaking maneuver from Mr. Elite. Tango is dropping down the order then, and that's a shame there, isn't it, for oh, goodness me. That's a shame there for Tango then. Look at this. Injured Jesus now got past Equals. He is up in the top position. Now cuts across then. And he's lost 4 seconds there to his teammate there. Thereabouts, hasn't he? So the 2 Haas cars are going to score some very good points there. Remember, Haas are on the lower fringes of the constructors in gold. Remember, in silver there, they were on the cusp of winning the constructors, aren't they? And look at Farfair. He is now up into 6th position as well. And good stuff indeed then. And then just on board then with Farfair, so he's now 2 seconds away from Mr. Lee. Farfair is going for a very attacker strategy. It's going to be interesting. Is Farfair going to go for another set of soft tires, or is he going to go for medium tires? Farfair, Tango's back in the session then, but he is dropping down the order, isn't he? Now Nolsey is almost up behind him as well. Look at this, yet Nolsey is now just going through him, and hopefully Tango does come back in the session when Nolsey's inside him, because that might not be very good at all. Just back on board then with Mr. Lee then, and once again then his race on battle's been with Pike here tonight, hasn't it? I've got to say, it's been an absolute dream to watch. I've been enjoying this battle. It's been really good stuff indeed there, and Absolutely lovely stuff. Mr. Elite then is now in DRS race as well. He isn't using any deployments, is he? As we go flying through 130 on there. Of course, it's easy flat these days in these modern Formula 1 cars, isn't it? Because these modern Formula 1 cars are absolutely splendid, aren't they? They're machines, they're monsters, they're fantastic. As a equal, oh, it's a Mr. Elite coming into the pits. He needs to slow down. And he has done indeed then. And Farf is also coming in the pits as well then. So Farf in the pits and what there's a Ferrari mechanics they're coming out to where then they're going on to the medium tyres, aren't they? I know, yeah, and he's on the soft tyres once again then Farf is so soft there for Farf. And we've also got Mr. Elite coming out of the pits as well. Who's in front of us there? That's I think that's Gunnar who's had another trip to the pits, hasn't he? And look at this, and look how far back the Haas cars are. And look at this, so Diego is having to ninth position there, good 17. And look, we've also got Indian Jesus past Farf as well. Farf is right in the mix of this race, isn't he? Good to see Farf back up there, isn't it? I absolutely love it. Alhan is now catching it to the back of Tango as well. Alhan is on the hard tyre, isn't he? Oh my goodness me. And Alhan, of course, he won one race in silver before getting promoted this season. He's been on fine form, hasn't he, since being in gold this season, and he is going to be one to watch, isn't he, later on this race as well. His pace is quite good, isn't he? Just like Pillar said, then he's looking on form, isn't he? Really good stuff indeed there. As Serious Russian Tango's net strikes again, we got yellow flags are fluttering, and I think it's one of the Red Bulls, isn't it? It's Gunnar just getting on the way then, being very gentlemanly there. Gunnar, it's good stuff indeed there from the Irishman. Yeah, Tango's internet strikes again. Sam is just saying that Emerson didn't deserve retiring from the race that early on. He really didn't, did he? That's such a shame now, isn't it? The Pillar saying that Tango gets his internet from McDonald's. I think Tango's got an issue with his PlayStation, hasn't it, where he keeps getting an error message. So into the pits there comes Nightwing now. Let's see that. So he has now been serviced there. It is out on... where is he? He's gone now. Lovely something dead. So is he going to get out in front of this battle here then? And look at where Alhan is compared to Nightwing. And I think Nightwing was about a couple of seconds away there, so that is Alhan's going to be in the ballpark, isn't he? Cannot stay behind Tango too long, but Alhan is in the ballpark, isn't he, for maybe taking the lead of this race as well. This is going to get very exciting indeed in the next couple of laps or so, isn't it? Good stuff then. As just on board now then with Alhan, and of course at the moment he's doing a fantastic job, isn't he? I love the helmet design as well from Alhan, absolutely splendid stuff. Farf is Mr. Lee has gone to the hard tyres there. So Mr. Lee, as I not say, I'm not sure that I think that Farf is back on the soft tyres, and so completely different, two completely different opinions there about how to run the race there. But Mr. Lee then going for the safer option, and Farf there, and Mr. Lee then gets very close in the first segment, and Farf is on the soft tyres. Of course, he wants to make hay whilst the sun is shining all gloomy, I should say, isn't it? It's just very dull overhead then. But Farf, he knows he's losing a lot of time. He needs to really strike it big, as he whilst these soft tyres there are very much brand spanking new. And I love being able to show a lovely helicam shot there as well. Jonathan has rolled the dice. He is in the pits first then, and let's see what he can do then. Farf has gone very wide there in the exit of Spoon there. Sorry, the middle part of Spoon, and that's and the exit as well. Jonathan is in the pits, and he is being serviced there for the McLaren team. And now we've got Pike getting past as well. Just taking a look to see where Jonathan is. He is trundling out the pits, and now Nosey has got past, and there's Jonathan. Oh goodness me, that is not good at all, for Jonathan, because look, will Alhan get to the race on those hard tyres? I think he will, but of course I have spoke rubbish a lot of times before, but Alhan is right in the thick of things. He's had a fantastic race tonight, isn't he? Oh my goodness me, and there's me counting them out of the championship. Maybe we shouldn't, definitely not until our hens hatch, said brilliant 17. But Jonathan does have new tyres there. He's on the soft tyres now, Jonathan is and he wants to, as we got yellow flags there, as one of the racing points there is Nightwing. Nightwing has had issues there, and he's parking up. It's a technical issue there for Nightwing, and that is a blow, isn't it? No, he's out of this race, and Nightwing is, and I'm not sure if that's a technical issue or not then, but he looks like he had him. Oh dear, and Jonathan has got past Alhan, and whilst he's looking at Nightwing's retirement, Jonathan has got past out of the hairpin, and now he's up in the fifth position then. So yes, Alhan is very much playing the long game in this race, isn't he? But he's very much in the thick of things, isn't he? And Clark, when's he going to come in the pits, and Nightwing is out of the race, left for session then, and that's a shame then, as Nightwing is very much in the thick of things. Right, Jonathan there is flying on these tyres
cars, and Clarky is in the pits as well then, as we got a straight fight now, haven't we, for the race lead, I feel, between Clarky and Jonathan as well. And we're on board Tango, who is, I think, might be howling his teammate out, maybe indirectly then, perhaps. And he comes out of the pits now then, and look, there's the pit entry. Where's Jonathan? Don't think he's done it. Look, there's Jonathan. Clarky's going to get up to speed, and Jonathan flashes past, and he's up into second position there. And look at this, and where's Alhan? Alhan's also got through as well. Oh, goodness me then. And Nolsey's in the pits then, as we've got Diego now, who's on a very strong race in the half there. Good stuff indeed. Same with Mr. Lee. But Farfet's once again then right underneath the rear wing of Mr. Lee. I'm loving this diverse strategy here tonight. Lovely stuff indeed then. Clark has got past Alhan already then. It's Alhan there, of course, on the hard tires, but I think he's doing a splendid job there. Really got himself into the thick of this battle then. Pike is now leading the moment. He's done 17 laps on those hard tires. Good stuff indeed. Same with Tango. And look at this. There's Tango there, just letting Clarky through. And Clark there, give him a good old weave there to say thank you. Lovely stuff. And so Clarky can now get after Jonathan. Then has he got the pace? And as Jonathan's got a 3-second penalty, I remind you. And so just watching Clarky then going through as well. So at the moment, Clarky does have the high ground. And Farfet's now past Mr. Lee and moved up into 8th position. Mr. Lee on the hard tires. And I think that might be the wrong way on strategy, unfortunately, there for Mr. Lee, and that's a such a shame. Remember Baz in Russia, he was on fine form, but he went to the hard tires and just absolutely nowhere for the final stint, wasn't he? And which was a big shame, wasn't it, for Baz, because I think that was the strongest performance, wasn't it, in ALR up to that point now. Really good stuff there for Baz. And here tonight, I'm wondering if that might be the same thing, might be happening to Mr. Elite here tonight as well, who has been on very good form, hasn't he? And now just watching Kingdom then, who is Jonathan set fast off the race then, into the pits. There comes Tango and 17 laps on those medium tires. Pike is still out there at the moment, and good at innings there from Pike. Then we've now got Kingdom, who's all over the back of Granty. Granty is not even in the points at the moment. Is he the double world champion now? Today, where Emerson's not going to score any points, and nor is Granty either. So really, it's not working well for Granty at all. But I think Granty was also involved in that first corner incident, wasn't he? As look at how close Ginger Jesus gets into the back of the Renault of Mr. Elite. Then Tango is left possession there. Tango is, and that's not good at all. He's just come out of the pits there. This is where he really needs to. The in-laps and out-laps in Formula 1 is so crucial in this day and age, isn't it? Just going back to lead now, and Clark is looking very strong in this stage of proceedings, isn't he? Remember, Clark, he won the last race in Russia. He hasn't got any penalties either, as far as I'm concerned then, but I could be absolutely wrong there. Oh, lovely shot here from Clarky then. But yeah, Clarky does have the high ground as well, doesn't he? Of course, so he has got no penalties. Jonathan's got a 3-second penalty. But this is a very good run of form now for Jonathan. This will be Jonathan's best race result of the season so far. As I was just in Becca saying that Alhan is having a strategical masterclass. It really is. He's currently looking at maybe a podium there for Alhan there. But of course, he's going to have to be very getting very defensive there towards the later stages of this race. But one of those hard tires might come back towards him later on then, as Pike is staying out, and Pike is staying out a very long time here, isn't he? Goodness me. And now Clark is set to fast up the race, and look at this, and this is not what Jonathan needs, though, is it? He wants a clear track, doesn't he? He doesn't want Pike there in there, and look, Jonathan's gone on the outside there, but Pike there is staying on the inside there, and Jonathan there's got the fresher tires. Boy, he's going to run over road, and now with Clark, he's on the inside, for the next part of the turn there. Oh my word, that Jonathan's been forced off the circuit. Clark is up into second position there, and of course that is of course Pike, who's not involved in this race, and of course the battle for the lead, of course yellow flag as Tango is out of the race, and it's out in the final corner possibly, and look at this as Clark is trying to go on the inside of a virtual safety car just when he was shaping up for a move for the lead then. Yes, I think it's where Montoya crashed heavily and Glock crashed heavily in 2005 and at 9 respectively, and that's unfortunate, isn't it, to say the least. On board of equals then, as the car has already been removed then from this racetrack then. And I've got to say, it was getting very hairy and scary, wasn't it? We're down to 13 cars remaining in this session. And Tango out the race. What a shame, he was having such a great performance, wasn't he? Really good stuff indeed then for Tango. He is out of the race along with Nightwing, along with Ghost, and along with Emerson as well. Then virtual safety cars at the moment. You have to adhere to the Delta. We'll be back racing in just a jiffy. And now we are back racing. Then Clark is all over the back of Pike, isn't he? Pike there is driving his own race, isn't he? He's on his own strategy there. So he is not going to give way, is he? But of course, all of these guys are going to be losing time, and they are now dicing for the lead here in the Japanese Grand Prix. And boy, this Pike is now coming in. No, yet he's staying out there, but Clark has got so much more today. He's alongside Pike, and he is through and takes the lead there. Where's Jonathan? Jonathan's too far back at him on there to also have the overtake as well. And I'm wondering if Jonathan's going to look back on this part of the race, and this might be the part of the race where he feels he could have won it. And unfortunately, Pike there is not really helped his cause, has he? As Tango is left for session, as he is the latest retiree in this race, isn't he? And I've got to say, Alan's doing a really good job on those hard tires. Really good stuff indeed there. And look at this, as Farf has got past. Or has he? Because Farf and Diego then, but Farf is having a fit for this. And I've got to say, it feels like a bit of the old guard here tonight, isn't it? Great performance out for Jonathan and from Farf as well. Really good stuff indeed there from both those drivers. Absolutely hats off to both of them. And now Jonathan there running for ring. Look at there, Alhan's less than 3 seconds back there. And Alhan might pinch second position away from Jonathan here. Oh, there's contact. And look at this. And oh, he's in the wall. Pike is in. And oh dear then. And I think he's damaged the wing there. Pike was of course defending for all he's worth in car 40. He's 20 laps on those medium tires, but of course that is the strategy that he's running with, and unfortunately he's damaged the car then. And Farf potentially is going to be up into fourth position. Lovely stuff indeed here from Farf. Absolutely splendid stuff. Maybe I've also accused Mr. Elite of being on the wrong strategy as well. Those hard tyres are not doing too bad at the moment, are they, for Mr. Elite then? He has done 5 laps on those tyres. He's got yellow flags in front of us then. It's Pike then who was spun off again. What a nightmare for Pike. He was having such a great race up until that point, wasn't he? And that is such a blow then. So we've got Clark who's at the fast lap of the race, hasn't he? He's doing a great job out there now, hasn't he? Clark is going for a second Grand Prix win of his career in ALR then. Of course he won his first race. Oh, is that Diego to lock it up then? Diego looking at as they come through the triangle chicane as well, and once again now Mr. Lee is in the thick of things. Same with Indian Jesus, as he in Mr. Lee is the meat in the Haas sandwich, isn't he? As they come down into turn 1 as well. Farfen he's going to need to launch away, isn't he now? Because I think those soft tires might start to fall apart somewhere. Just much there is already given a early nomination for driver today. That is Alhan. He's having a splendid drive out there at the moment on those hard tires. And I gotta say, I was saying the hard tires might have been the wrong way to go for Mr. Lee. How wrong am I at the moment now? As Mr. Lee is looking very fruitful in 5th position mode now. So we've already mentioned this is the strongest season to date for Mr. Lee, and once again there he is showing some absolutely outstanding performance. He's a machine this season, a machine. Lovely stuff from car 22 indeed there. But now it's Indian Jesus there who's all over the back of him at the moment then. Farf is 11 seconds away from a potential podium at the moment, but I think Farf and Alhan, 2 drivers that have really done outstanding today on there. They've been really good, haven't they? I've enjoyed watching their progress so far from the field there. Clark leads by 2.7 seconds there. Pike has potentially cost Jonathan a race win here, potentially of course. Pike is, I think he's still on circuit. He is still on circuit. Pike hasn't come in the pits there with that damaged front wing. I'm not sure if I think that Pike has got to come to the pits. Well, then again, though, I think he came in the pits earlier on there, but he's going to be hanging on there towards the end on those 21 lap out at medium tires. Diego is just looked at the inside front there, going into the triangle chicane. Now Farf is out DRS range there, and look in the background there, that's Indian Jesus there. Hand look on the inside. This is a great day for Haas, and in terms of the points, isn't it? Remember, Haas at the moment in the constructor standings are at the bottom. They are. They will hit 100. They have the 100 point mark tonight if they stay where they are, which is good stuff indeed there for Haas. They are 8 points behind Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo are currently getting no points at all then, so they will get in front of Alfa Romeo in the constructor standings, and so that is good stuff indeed there from Team Haas here tonight, and I think one of the best performances of the season thus far. And but look at this, and Ninja Jesus once more, doesn't he? Mr. Elite there is and Mr. Elite there is just going into the first deck now as well. It's Diego. It looks like he's going to be double teamed, isn't he, at the moment there? Between with the both Haas and Mr. Elite there is flying solo, isn't he? And look at this, it's Indian Jesus on the outside. They're going into the hairpin. Oh, brilliant! Somebody that's trying to go up and under, but nothing to do it just yet. Then and look at this. Then is back on board there. Indian Jesus. Mr. Elite needs to get by him, Diego, as quickly as possible there, because I think Haas is doing a bit of the double team here at the moment there. Indian Jesus trying to go up and under. It's a spoon. Spoon then. Oh, goodness me then. And look at this. Good drive out the exit of Spoon then. And it's going to be a drag race going up to 130 up. Wheel to wheel. They've touched, I think. Oh, my goodness me. It is so close as a whisker. Indian Jesus up there. Side by side. Oh, my word. And luckily, oh, gosh, that would have been an airplane crash there. But luckily, they are all still pointing in the right direction. They've still got all their pieces on the car. But that was getting frightfully worrying for both drivers out there. And, of course, this is a good result for all these three drivers at the moment. There's the Farf is now 2 seconds away then, and he's now only 10 seconds behind ALR as well. As ALR now is on 21 lap out hard tires. He's on a splendid drive out there, ALR. It's really good stuff indeed there. Granty is now less than a 2/10 of a second away from Pike. Pike there is... And look at this then, Granty's going to have a look on the inside then. Pike is, oh goodness me, he's gone right off the track there. And Pike is really struggling there on those medium tyres. He's right off the circuit there. He's actually hit the gravel there. And the Kingdom was also passed as well. What a shame there for Pike. As now then both Alpha males are out of the points there. I apologise. Pike, of course, was at the points there. Well, I just mentioned earlier. As we come into the crossover once again in the background there, you see the flash of yellow there. That is the team who are second in the constructors. That is Nosey, who is, of course, substituting there for the Red Bull drivers tonight there, and of course the Red Bull currently on 4 points there, but Renault is still outscoring them, which is the most pivotal part of this equation so far there. But Cam Nosey there do a big favour for the Red Bull team here tonight. Well, he's currently 8th at the moment then, isn't he? And he's only 2 seconds away from this battling trio here at the moment then, which is Diego, Mr. Lee and Indian Jesus as well. And there is Nosey there, who's just creeping up to the back of him at the moment then. So we're going into the 130 yard and it's getting then. Look at this then. And the one Clark leads there by almost 4 seconds. Then Clark going for a second Grand Prix win with 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go already. Goodness me. This race has flown by. Jonathan in second position. And third position is Alhan. It's going to be great to speak to Jonathan again. I haven't spoken to him for a very long time. Alhan in third position as well. Good to see him right up there. Favre in fourth position. Diego fifth. Sixth position is Mr. Lee. Indian Jesus seventh. And Nosey 2 seconds back at the moment in eighth position there. Ninth position is Granty, the defending champion. He's only going to take 2 points out of Emerson tonight. Even with Emerson now sitting on the sidelines after that awful incident, and King's in 10th position around there. Another point now for the Ferrari team, and the Ferrari getting some good points here tonight as well. They're 18 points behind the Mercedes team at the moment then. And who's that? Indian Jesus is off the circuit there, and we was just on board Mr. Lee and one up behind it. So Indian Jesus there has, oh goodness me, then he's gone off a Dunlop there. Indian Jesus, he's damaged the wing, and he's done 12 laps as well. And what a shame there for Indian Jesus. And oh goodness me then, and Grant, he might be able to pick up another result, might pick up another position here. He will indeed then, as he is now up into 8th. He's now up to 8th position there. We've also got Kingzo, who is now up in 9th as well, as Indian Jesus dropping down here as well. Pike, who's still struggling out there on those medium tires in 10th position there. He's got a puncture, and of course they have done about 24 laps, which I think is well over Pirelli's recommendation there for Pike. But goodness me, today there he hasn't been able to look after those tires, has he? And he is dropping down the order as well. Indian Jesus potentially might be able to stay in the points here. Back to this battle here then. Oh, and look at this, and the other Haas is also skating off the circle as well then. And Mr. Elite the pressure has paid off, and he is having a 5th position, a nightmare lap then for the Haas team. And Mr. Elite is now on course for a very solid 5th position as well. Good stuff indeed then. And just on board, they're going down into turn 2 as well. And yeah, I'm not sure why Pike didn't pit, to be honest, because he had the damaged front wing as well. But yeah, so a bit unsure about that strategy there from Pike, unfortunately, as he is now crawling back to the pits. Right into the pits comes Indian Jesus then, and Indian Jesus in the pits. He has a potential for, I think he'll be able to get back in and come back out. It's going to be close between himself and Equals, but that's such a shame there for the Haas team. They was on course for some major pointage today, weren't they? So a bit of a nightmare lap there for the team Haas. He's also got a 5-second penalty as well, hasn't he? Indian Jesus has, and this is just going to I thought Pike had a puncture, but he looks alright. I don't know. Maybe if I just dreamt that about the puncture, I don't know. As Indian Jesus coming out of the pits now, and yeah, there he is. He's out of the pits now, and then away he goes then. And yeah, he has got a puncture there. So Pike is still out on circuit at the moment there, and yeah, so Equals said it's in 10th position. Then Pike has got a puncture. Indian Jesus, wonder if he might be able to get a point or two. And so now we got Clarkey on the final lap then of on the follow-up then of the Japanese Grand Prix. He's got a 3-second penalty. I'm not sure if that will come into play too much because it might cancel out Jonathan's 3-second penalty. Alhan in a splendid 4th position. Farf is only 6 seconds back now. Mr. Lee in 5th. Diego 6th. Nosey in at 7th position now. 8th position is Granty. 9th position is Kingdom. 10th is Equals with Pike, who's trying to drag this car home. It's like Gilles Villeneuve back in the Dutch Grand Prix. Goodness me, that. And look at this. And here comes Clark. What a drive from Clarkey. And I gotta say though, hats off to Jonathan as well. Brilliant some deep there. And look at this. And he is now on the final tour then, and this has been a great performance of Clarkey. He's going for two now, isn't he? He's really climbing up the standards very nicely indeed, isn't he? He's got up to 10th before this race as well. He's going to be jumping up a few more positions as well at the end of this one as well. He's going for 2 Grand Prix victories, isn't he? For Clarkey. Lovely stuff indeed. That, as you can see there in the foreground, is a Pike. Remember, Pike has a puncture then, so hopefully Clarkey will. He's got a ghost anyway. It's also right. I was getting a bit concerned there. But Clarkey then, of course, he won the Russian Grand Prix last week. Now he's now going to double his account then. Clarkey wins the Japanese Grand Prix. 2 for 2 for Clarkey now. And a splendid performance indeed then. Jonathan there finishes 2nd, and he is back on return from getting pole position there for the 11th time. And 2nd position today. Driver of the day then might have to go to Alhan, but he's got a puncture. He's got a puncture, Alhan, as with just a couple of corners to go. He's going to be wrong. Farf is going to be on the podium. He goes through the final turn, and Farf does he because he might have, and Alhan stays on the podium just about. Alhan in 3rd position. I think I just read about the lottery numbers for Alhan. Mr. Lee in 4th, Diego 5th, Farf down into 6th. Then Granty is going to finish in 7th position. He's had a very difficult day today. Granty has set up issues and all sorts, but the double world champion come through to finish in 7th position there. Kingzo was 7th actually. Granty in 8th position. Nosey is currently in 9th position there, but he is touring back, isn't he? So, and there's going to be Equals and Indian Jesus who is going to get in there. And they'll get on board now as well then, as you can see, Granty is at left possession and he's had a very difficult race, hasn't he, as well. Nosey is touring back to the end of the race, and Equals is now up into 9th position then, isn't he? And now we've got so Equals is now going to get 2 points then, of course, for most of this race, and he's been near the back of the field there. Equals in 9th position there. And where is Nosey? Nosey is just cruising to the end, and is Indian Jesus going to be able to get the final point? I don't think he is. I think Knowles has got the final point, and there's that Red Bull. Yes, Indian Jesus down in 11th position then. One into the race then. Kingston gets drive of the day then, but Kingston was having a very good drive from 17th on the grid then, but I feel that I think that Alhan probably does deserve to get drive of the day for that performance. What a performance then. Clarkey is dancing the step. He has won 2 for 2 now here in ALR and Russian Grand Prix and now the Japanese Grand Prix as well. Good stuff indeed then. As Clarkey is saying, won't be able to join the interview tonight then. No problem at all, Clarkey. Hopefully you can just type a message in there and see and just tell us how you feel. And I'm sure that you're going to be just one word, splendid, is I think the word you're going to be searching for. Isn't it? Good stuff indeed there. Final classification then for the Japanese Grand Prix. Alhan there, brilliant drive today there. Absolutely good stuff indeed there. No penalties either for Alhan or Mr. Lee with 4th position as well. And also for Kingzone. Good stuff indeed. Kingzone 7th in the end. Clarkey won his 2nd Grand Prix of his career. Jonathan in 2nd position. His best result of the season there. Good stuff. Alhan in 3rd. What a drive. Mr. Lee in 4th then. Diego in 5th position. Farf down to 6th then. Kingzone 7th. Granty in 8th. Equals in 9th position. 10th position is Nosey. Outside the points is Indian Jesus in 11th position. Pike in 12th position there. You drop down like a stone then. And Gooner in 13th position. Retirement is Tango, Nightwing, Ghost Recon and Emerson, all retired from this epic Japanese Grand Prix. Oh, goodness me, and of course that's really going to shake up the championship stands. It really is, isn't it? As now in the gantry we do have of course the guys who finished 2nd and 3rd in the championship today. Really good stuff indeed then. And hopefully, let's get a word with them, shall we? Jonathan, let's start off with you. Today you got your 2nd pole position of the season. This is your 11th pole position of your career as well. What a performance there. You really nailed it then. That was one shot qualifying, a bit like old school there. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I don't even know where that lap came from actually. The only time I was faster was when I was in Sector 2. So, it was a great lap and it's about time really that I'm on the podium. It's been a while. I don't know exactly how long, but I've had a couple of fourths this season. But it's great to be back on the podium. Let's just see how long it lasts.
Well, hopefully more to come. That'll be your first podium of the season. Good stuff indeed. Then, just going to the race then with you and Clarkey. Clarkey just said that he was absolutely exhausted after that, but a great battle between yourself and Clarkey. There was a flashpoint in that race where Pike was still out on circuit. There, do you feel that cost you the win today?
Yeah.
And of course, we did see him running you wide as well. Then, so so that's such a shame then as well. Then, but going on to the next race in the United States, how are you feeling for that one?
I'm okay. I'm okay with Kota. Well, it's just like depends on what mood you're in. 1 minute it's a good track. Next minute you're having a crap time on track. So. Yeah, I'm 50-50 towards Kota, but see what it brings.
Absolutely brilliant stuff indeed. And well done, Jonathan. Your first podium of the season. I can't believe I'm saying that. Let's come to Alhan then, who finished third. And I got to say, you're definitely the people's choice for driver of the day today, Alhan. Brilliant stuff indeed. But let's go all the way back to what happened into turn 1 there. Did you see much of what happened there?
I had cold tyres to start, but then Jesus came by me, and then by the looks of it, he just went into the back of Emerson. I don't really know for sure because I was looking at the side of my screen at the time for Nightwing on the side of me, but I just got collected by that.
Well, that's a bit unfortunate, but I've got to say, judging from the pace on those hard tires, you were absolutely in fine vessels today there. Brilliant drive indeed then. Was that your only option, was it to go to the hard tires and just see what happens then, or was you always considering going to the hard tires?
I don't know. It's one of those ones that I think you can stretch a soft medium soft or something, but from that one you might as well just give it a go, wouldn't you, I guess. I was hoping for a safety car, obviously with a puncture at the end, but crazy.
But in the end, though, you did manage to get third then, as Farf had a couple of penalties there, which is nothing unusual there for Farf. He's a bit of a dirty driver, isn't he? I was counting out of the championship before this one then, but you had a very good result today. Unfortunately, I think my maths might fail me here, but unfortunately, I think this is mathematically you're out of it. But what a season you've had then. It's been amazing for you.
Yeah, considering that I've missed 5 races, I think it is 2 through connection and 2 through just not being available and then being DNF'd by someone in another race. So I guess 4th in the championship's actually pretty solid. But it's like I've said to you before, that I don't get many penalties, so it's just a matter of just trucking around and hoping for the best.
And indeed, you lived up to that name today as well. No penalties, still fantastic stuff, then. Right, that is the end for gold tonight, then. And I've got to say, that was a cracking race, wasn't it? I've got to say, the start at the beginning was a bit frightful, wasn't it? Tomorrow night is silver, and potentially we'll be crowning our 2nd ever silver champion. Can Gurman do it then? As he has got quite a monstrous lead, hasn't he? Almost 100 points in front of Wilson in 2nd position there. Job almost done there for Gurman. We'll see you tomorrow night, 7:30 for silver here in Japan. Goodbye.